so beautiful.
The lady Bigfoot.
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer. Genesis 1, verses 6 through 8. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And we'll also do Genesis 1, 27 through 28. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. That's Genesis 1, 27 and 28. We'll pray. Father, we thank you. We thank you for your word. We thank you how you took so much time to tell us everything that we need to know, and the things that we don't need to know, you told us to have faith. And so we do, Lord. And I personally find it offensive, Father, just speaking for me, of the people that we run across in these videos that belittle and put man and woman that you made underneath the beasts, underneath the things that you said we're to be over. They put what is made in your image below the other things, and it's insulting, and I'm offended on your behalf, Father. And we praise you that you gave us such magnificent design, that your fingerprint is upon us. We love you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for letting us be a part of the larger plan. Thank you for taking the time to even think to have us. Thank you for taking the time to make sure that things were explained to us. Keep your hand over each of us, Lord. Continue to protect your people. Continue to protect your children and those with the fingerprint of you. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. I am lead tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, and also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. We have 4 Facebook group pages. The Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas. The Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Son Center and Database. The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path page, and also the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. We also have the Lead. Oh, look at that. We also have the Lead Tracker E channel, which is creeping up on 700. It's the accompanying channel to this one. We have lots of playlists on there that are not available on this channel, and just some things that cross over and that are, if this channel is interesting to you, that one will be as well, because we meant for these two channels to go together. We want to have a strong backup channel and a way for you to find us if anything happens. Um, Jerry just pointed out the tagline here: Bigfoot is a predator. Stop the disinformation that they are guardians of the forest. And that's what we will be seeing tonight in our Watching Wednesday. We also have our book, The Predator, Bigfoot, and the Spiritual Warrior's Path by Jerry and myself. And that's available on Amazon, and it's available now in Spanish as well. And we also have our newest book, The Bigfoot Gifters. Am I going too soon on that one? I'm gonna grab the computer.
The Spanish version book of The Predator, Bigfoot, and the Spiritual Warrior's Path. You can find it on Amazon also. It's in Spanish, translated by CT and Tanya Marquez. And it is titled Pai Grande, El Depredador y el Sendero del Guerrero Espiritual. You can find those on Amazon as well. And we also have our Bigfoot documentary that you can only get through us. And it's in the description below. That is $55 by itself. But we are having a special right now where you can get, and also in that Bigfoot documentary, it does have Bigfoots. It does have a live Bigfoot in the tree. It has other photos of other Bigfoots and places where we don't want people going. But watching that DVD, you will learn of these places, and you will know exactly where to look for these things if they are on your property or around your house. So it's a very important DVD. And we teach you exactly where to go and how to find these things, not to intermingle with them or gift them or anything, but just to start your deterrence if you have them. So that the book is $25 on Amazon, or you can order through us. You can order one of these books, and we will autograph those books for the same price as Amazon, except for $5 shipping and handling. So you can get it through us in the description below. So that's the documentary is $55 and the book is $25 plus the $5 shipping and handling. But we're also having a sale right now where you can get one autographed book and one Bigfoot DVD for $55 for both of them. And that book will be autographed with that. So you're actually getting a free book, either in Spanish or in English, which if you speak more English, you can watch the DVD and give the Spanish book to a friend. We also have, you can also order that through us in the description below. For that one price, you get a free book. Also, our new website, our webpage, you can go to type in predatorbigfoot.com and it will take you to our new website. This new website it has links that we also link some on for tonight in the description also of the DNA results. Also in the documentary we talk about if people test something a certain way that they're going to find these certain things in that DNA, which also in those DNA results in the description below, if you watch those, you'll see that we talked about this before these results, before we had even seen these results. But these results are actual proof of what we were saying before we seen the actual DNA results. So the book also has that information. It explains the origins, DNA. It has a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that a lot of people need. I just got into a little comment thing with some people today, and I was telling them, well, it's in our book, and I don't know why everybody says, oh, you're just trying to sell a book. So no, I'm trying to give you the information. It's on Amazon. Go and get that, then come back and we'll talk. Then you'll have the information and you won't be guessing anymore. because a lot of guessing is a lot of dangerous, just like we're going to be talking about tonight in the stream.
Some people know just enough to get themselves and others into trouble.
Yeah. So you can find all that also on the new webpage, which one of our trackers has put this together for us.
I'm
That has playlists on there of that DNA, of spiritual house cleansing, the books, and the DVD. So, or you can order through us through the description below. Also, we on the Lead Tracker E channel, it's Tracking Miracles and Encounters.
We welcome you to share your testimonies with us. We want to keep track of all the ways that God protects us and provides for us and keeps us out of situations and healings, anything like that. We want to give him credit for that and draw attention to it. So if you have a story you'd like to share on there, we would love to hear it.
Also,
and go check a playlist on that if you haven't already listened to them through his divine intervention, divine orchestration.
Yeah, go back and listen to those stories. Amazing testimonies, amazing stories. Also, Standing Feather Stories.
Those are Jerry's stories of his journeys and a lot of the things that led us to this place right here where we're at and the knowledge that we're sharing. And it's also the stories behind the scenes, behind the news. There's a story in there about saving some children from human trafficking that involves the Amish. There's stories of Jerry being the last man standing at Standing Rock and the events around that. There's stories all the way to El Salvador, stories of invisibility, just some amazing, I don't want to say tales because they're true stories, but journaling of his experiences and really worth a listen. And also on there is the what the Indians say about Bigfoot. That playlist is on there too. So check out those two playlists. And we'll be adding more as time goes by. There's just not enough hours in the day, but there's still so many people haven't seen our older videos. There's hundreds of them. So just be sure you check in the live streams and in the videos. And some have even disappeared. So watch them while you can because we never know when something's just not there one day.
Oh, yeah. Now, the new book. It's just been released about a week ago, I would say, or a week and a half, I guess. And that is the new book, Bigfoot Gifters. This is a very important book, and it actually comes from the other book that we're writing, Vessels of Hope versus Agents of Darkness. But we had to take this one section out of the book and get it out quickly because even like the person tonight, all these streams we've been doing over the Wednesday, watching Wednesdays, there's people out there gifting, there's people talking, trying to get other people to start gifting these predators. So we had to take that section out of the book and get it out to everybody quickly, just so we can share that information because they don't know what they're doing. And if anybody asks you or says you should gift, they don't know what they're doing. And if you read the book, you'll understand who that person is and the predicament that they're in right now. But it's not just their thoughts; it's other things that it's more to gifting than what people think. Also,
they all want to be Jane Goodall.
Yeah, and also it's on Kindle as well for $9.99 on Kindle. That book, Bigfoot Gifters, is paperback for $20. It's not a thick book because it is a section of another book, but it's got the most important information that's ever been put out there right now. No one else has this information. It's in that book. And if you read that book and then look at these gifters, you're going to know they haven't read this book and they don't have this information. So it's very important. Also, we have the new Spanish version, and this was translated by Tanya Marquez of Jose Antonio of Las Venturas or Oklahoma Adventures. She got busy with it. It took her about 2 or 3 days to translate this. And see the English version is Bigfoot Gifters. The Spanish version is Las Ofrendas de Pai Grande, and that means the Bigfoot offerings. People who offer or give offerings to the Bigfoot. Um, and this is also the new Kindle version, which also is $9.99, and the Spanish version is $20 also in paperback.
And they're both getting great reviews. We're happy to say. We appreciate that. We appreciate you taking the time to review.
Would also like to say that
And that cover, real quick, when you read the book, you'll find out while that predator Bigfoot's tapping on the window, what it is that they want.
yeah, because everybody says they're tapping on the window, they're slapping the house. Okay,
Why?
why? Now read the book, and you'll find out exactly why.
Where that came from.
And yeah, also where it came from. We also want to say congratulations, Thunder Trackers. Your first day will be Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. That's on the 23rd, and the emails will be sent out after after the stream today. We will get that out to you today. Time just flies by. I thought we had another day, at least one more day, but we will get that out to you today. Your links to the new tracker training course, and please have your payments or your partial payments in as soon as possible. But we will send those links out to you tonight. I mean, right after this, I'll get right on that.
And hopefully each of you have already watched the video of the things that you need, the supplies that you'll need for the classes.
Yeah. Also, congratulations to the Shadow Trackers and your first day yesterday, and your welcoming. Uh, I don't want to say speech, but welcoming commencement.
You're welcome.
You're welcoming. And we had a great first day. We understand what we need to do for our reports and where to get them and how important it is, because we will be sharing information from this team to the next team, and that team to this team, so that everyone is on the same page, and that we see now we're going to see more things because we have more trackers out there. And with our new tracker training group, Thunder, once you get prepared and completed, you will get the same welcoming. You're going to get your own welcoming tomorrow, but then you're gonna you're gonna be very important to the other teams, as well as the Shadow Trackers are to the Warriors, and the Warriors are to the what we call the OGs, or the original trackers.
We appreciate every single one of you.
And tonight we're also going to put this up. This is the for fair use. Tonight, everything that we talk about is about training people and what people are doing wrong. This is a lesson.
Once in a blue moon, we find something they're doing right.
Once in a blue
we'll
moon.
mention that, but
and we will congratulate them if they're doing something right out there.
Yeah.
Also, Saturday we have Tim Morefoot of the Historical Sasquatch Society. He'll be a guest with us at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone on Saturday. You're not going to want to miss that either. Tim is going to bring a lot of information as well. He's just a great person to talk to.
And a great artist.
And a great artist. He does a lot of AI work also. He mixes it together, and he just does some real good artwork. So, but he's got a lot to share with us.
He does.
And we can make sure you're here for that.
We appreciate his willingness to learn and how he wants to use his platform also, that is rapidly growing, to teach others.
And this is a tracker channel. It's not a entertainment channel. So tonight's Watching Wednesday.
Yeah.
On Saturday, that's going to be more of a just listening to what is being said. But tonight, we get to intermingle with the topic that we're talking about. Let's not monitors know that if you start talking about, hey, I was camping in the woods or I went tracking this weekend and I seen the same thing. Um, okay, that's great. Let's say that for another time. Right now, we need to stay focused. You can comment on what's happening on the stream and what we're all talking about now. That's what we do here.
Those extra experiences and stuff, those are great for comments after the video's put up, to come back to the comment section in regular, but not in the live stream. In the live stream chat, we want to keep that specific to what we're doing that evening. So if there's a story that you want to share, do that later when the live stream is over and has been posted. Go into the comment section there, and you can tell if it reminds you of something of your own or whatever.
So we have moderators to make sure there's no foul language or anyone starting other conversations in the chat. Just a warning that they will block you and kick you out, even if you try to coax them into a conversation. They will. They may say hi to you and maybe give you one answer, but if you continue, they will block you and kick you out. So uh, but tonight we're a little bit open.
Yeah.
Tonight we're a little bit open. So moderators are a little less
We
strict.
can talk more. We're watching
Yeah.
something together,
And we're all
reacting to
commenting.
it together.
And we're
Yeah.
showing, yeah. So that's that's what we're doing tonight. And we're also going to do the comments. Where
Here and
we
there.
is it? Well, we're going to do the comments first. Yeah, we're going to go through and say hi and see who's all here. But tonight the comments are a little different.
Yeah.
We're going to be
If we get
intermingling.
space in between, we'll be talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll look up and it's 30 minutes and we only watched 8 minutes of the review because we've stopped and started so many times. So, and we'll be stopping quite a bit on this special young woman's.
And sometimes we don't even get through the video. Sometimes we run out of time, and sometimes we just get upset at the continued wrong information, or that they're
maybe not upset, but to full capacity. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Watching on your own.
And that's why we can't watch these other channels. It just.
But this gives us a good reason to.
But now
it's a lot more fun with you guys.
It's giving us a reason to not just watch these, entirety or as much as we can, but to where you get to understand. And our trackers already know. They're yelling at the screen just as much as we are.
In the comments is that we're all on the same page. We love that.
We love that, and we got some very good people in our comment, in our chat, and they know what's going on.
Recognize the mistakes also.
Yeah, yes. And you're not going to find this anywhere else in any other channel, because those other channels were like, hey, yeah, let's go. Why don't you gift an apple? Why don't you get some pie? Try some peanut butter. No, don't do that.
Set your child on an altar.
Yeah, take your children out there. They make a lot of noise. They'll draw them in. Yeah, they will.
Literally, people have said that.
Yeah, or bad information like that. There's a lot of missing people out there, and we don't want any more missing people. And we don't want anyone covering up what happened. So here is where you're going to find the right information. So
we're not picking on this individual, but we're got to call her out on some things.
Yeah, and
we want her to be safe too.
Oh yeah, but it was something watching this we want to see if it's worth the time, and when we just watched a little bit, we're like,
it's hard to choose. We got to do next time.
We had to take notes and say that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, and we got pages of that's wrong. So I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy this. We're going to get to the comments. We're going to say hello to everybody.
Welcome everyone.
Welcome everybody, and feel free to enjoy this with us and comment with us.
Get your pointer stick ready.
Get your own pointer sticks ready.
There you go. Ours came off our mini blinds.
I wonder if,
We've only broken one so far.
yes, George, snap. So you're welcome to intermingle about the topic, but you know, try not to do any off
Yeah, just
topic
keep it specific to
conversation.
what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our moderators are watching, and
I'm
they
gonna turn
will.
some of these lights off.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's do the comments first,
Okay.
and then we'll get. Okay, let's do the comments. Let's see who's all here and say hello.
Do you have all chats or top?
Mine don't even say. I don't know.
Okay.
Say.
Well, if I miss anybody, just.
Did you get Jody's
I did.
taken care of?
I did.
All right. Let me just make sure real fast. But don't. It's not on there.
Well, it wouldn't be for comments she already made before I did that.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. Right.
So Judy, we don't see you in here, but maybe you came in and already left, and we'll be back. But they're all saying, Judy, that you were the first one in the room tonight. And there's Q.
She says, "Laugh out loud." The early bird spots the Bigfoot. Good morning.
And there's Tracker Lorna.
Cube. He came in at. Were we really that late? 7:10.
We may have been.
Everybody coming in, or we came
That's
in
okay,
late.
because look, it gave more people time to get in the room.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Shadow Tracker A is here, saying hello to everybody. Shadow Tracker JA is here.
And has been made a moderator.
You are a moderator now, so every time you tap in.
I thought you were before, but
yeah.
Either way, we had to do it again, if so.
But if you tap in now, you're going to see that you have a wrench.
Shadow Tracker J.
Shadow Tracker J is here.
Which is Joyce, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello to Shadow Tracker J, and Shadow Tracker J saying hello to everybody.
JR is here.
JR, all right. Another Watching Wednesday. They saying howdy all.
Ann is here. Hey, we were late ourselves.
And yeah. Yeah, we have that opening, so that's another 6 minutes to give people time to get in.
That's just sometimes I'll be running around doing something and I'll say, play a long intro.
Play the long intro. Give me 6 more minutes. And Cuban there is letting everybody know, hit the like and subscribe.
Thank you, Q.
And get that algorithm
and
up.
Share it. And thank you, Elastic Machinery. You're real good about sharing.
And the more likes and the more shares, that does boost the algorithm up, so it hits YouTube more.
And they'll suggest it more.
Yeah, if more people like it.
These people out here that are giving bad advice and dangerous advice, they're getting so much playtime. Help us counteract that.
Goodness.
Help us fight back that wave of disinformation. War Chief is here.
All right, War Chief is here. Oya, Ocio, and Ola. All right.
Deborah's here. How you doing, Deborah?
Where's Deborah?
We get to watch commercial free because Deborah helped us out.
Are we on yours? I think.
I don't know. I don't know. What do we?
But if not, we can.
I think so.
But if not,
I had it on there earlier.
And we got to reset it anyway.
Okay.
Deborah's here. Good seeing you, Deborah. Everybody's saying hello to you.
There's Bob in BC.
There.
Shadow Tracker Bob in BC.
Yeah, Shadow Tracker. I thought you'd have your name up on there.
There's CT.
If you can, switch it out. CT. She is off work today, so she says she can make it today. Always good to hear
from you.
Good seeing you, CT.
CT's always working.
She sure is. Everybody's saying hello.
Cube, thank you for dropping the link to the Gifters book.
CT, she says, have been working and taking care of the family. The Tracker is saying hello, and the verse for today, Genesis 1:6-8 and Genesis 1:27 and 28. Cuban says, woo woo, as the Americans say. Not all of them say that, but some do. There is the new Bigfoot Gifters YouTube. I think that's the YouTube video. I don't know. But also in the description below, if you want to order that book, it is in the description below. Also, the links for Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path is also in there. Trying to get Kay in, back and forth, helping her. Good, good.
Thank you for helping her, Ann.
Kay was telling me that she couldn't comment. She could be here, but couldn't
Having
comment.
trouble getting chat.
So if anybody has any information about that, how
Can help them.
Can help that, I suggested just make another profile, and maybe that would work. From this end, it should be good, but we don't know. But I know some other people has had that problem before.
Ann says, on my word, I have enjoyed that book. Gifters is amazing. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Ann. And that
and
book,
I don't remember, Ann, if you've gone in and put a review or not. If you have, thank you. And if you haven't, please do.
Bob is saying hello. Oh, he's saying hello to everybody. Tractor Lorna, Shadow Tracker J, Q. Thank you to our host, Jerry, and Lead Tracker E. All right. Shadow
here, Bob.
Tracker J is saying beautiful prayer, Lead Tracker E.
She gets it.
Julie is here.
Hey, Julie.
All right, Julie. Everybody's saying blessings to Julie. And here is Cubinator's Facebook group page, Tracking Bush Predators Australia. Very important Facebook group.
You will not be mocked in that group.
He will protect you if you have some information that you want to share. Feel free there.
And you will be booted if you try to mock him.
Or if you try to mock
or
someone
else.
Yeah. You will be booted from that. That's a good Facebook group to go to. Look, there's a woot woot. Look, there's Ann.
Lyrical Jazzy's here. And
Where's
Holly.
Lyrical Jazzy. Lyrical Jazzy, Tracker J, got her wrench.
So we have a Tracker J, and then a Shadow Tracker J, and then Shadow Tracker JA.
And a Lead Tracker J, Team Leader J.
We're getting a lot of J's.
The J's got it. The Cube
is busy dropping those links. Thank you so much.
I'm on a slow thing here. The new Spanish version of the Bigfoot group link. You can go there and find that information, but that link is also in the description if you want to also find it there. But it is, and thank you for that, Cubinator.
Deborah Mueller says, dang, even the recorded vocalization set off something deep inside. Yeah, a lot of pets don't like it at all.
Yeah, and that's not even some of the worst ones that we have. We've played some of the other audios that we have, and people said their dogs started shaking or started jumping around looking for whatever's making that noise. But
Ann says Kay is watching but can't comment. Still not worked that out yet. But hi from Kay. Hey, Kay.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Kay? Great seeing you here. We're glad you're here.
Elastic Machinery says, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. What Indians Say playlist is one of my favorites to play in the background or go to sleep to. Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's also in the description below. We put that in the description below because of what this person is going to say.
When she starts saying what the Indians say.
That always catches my attention. Julie says,
I truly can't believe.
Yeah.
Julie says, I truly can't believe people think it's okay to gift these things. It's so crazy to me.
It sure is.
Been taught that way, trained that way.
Off of other Bigfoot groups and books and TV shows.
And Jackson says, seems to be a surge of gifting. It is recently. I am guessing from all the groups who push that thinking. Yes, and those are the same groups that block us and put us out. Elastic Machinery says, hey, trackers, and Julie and Jerry and Ella, how's my favorite tracker down under doing? Julie says, agree, Ann. It's very concerning. It truly is. Cube says, yes, correct, and constant wave of ignorance. I'm shaking my head every day. Ann agrees. Elastic Machinery is putting up the flags and the kangaroos.
That? Oh, kangaroos. What's
Australia?
GB? What's GB?
Where?
GB. In between the kangaroos.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, that must be a code because on mine it shows up as little flags, but on yours it doesn't.
Oh. Oh yeah, maybe. Cuban saying, congrats, Thunder Trackers. Thursday's going to be a good day.
Lyrical Jazzy says, congrats, new Thunder Trackers.
Oh, thank
Elastic
you.
Machinery is congratulating them. CT says, sorry, I was busy, just came back. No need to apologize, CT. We can just take it as a standard thing. We know you're going to be in and out
In and
working.
out.
We
You're
know.
always doing something.
Elastic Machinery says, oh, Shadow Tracker J says, yay, Thunder Trackers.
All
Elastic
right.
Machinery says, that means you, Cube. You're my favorite tracker. How you doing?
All right. Got a favorite tracker.
CT says, hi, Julie.
Oh, yeah.
And Lyrical
Uh-oh.
Jazzy says, woo woo,
There's
Shadow
another
Trackers.
woo woo.
Now we know who says woo woo. Elastic Machinery says, commencement is a good description. And Jackson says, can't wait. Elastic Machinery says, I want to join after Jerry makes counselor.
All right.
Elastic Machinery says, okie dokie, I'm a watch in the background. Can't promise I'll be able to control my fingers when the gifter gets to habituated.
Oh.
It's okay. Tonight you don't have to. Tonight you can let the fingers fly.
Or scream in the background.
Mariela. Hey, Mariela.
Mariela
Hola.
Bustos. Hola. Saludos. Bendiciones.
There you go. You got it.
Ella, Jerry.
Angel's here.
Mucho gusto.
Angel says, this is the first watching Wednesday I've watched. Great idea. Glad you're here, Angel.
Where?
A little bit further down. I'm skipping some of the hellos.
Oh, there she is. All right, Angel. It's my first watching Wednesday. I've watched. Great idea. All right.
War Chief is relaxed but ready to pounce. There you
go.
That's perfect. There's Jody. She's got her wrench.
There's the wrench. All
she
right.
says watching Wednesdays is a lot of fun.
And you're going to have to pick your weapon, whatever weapon of choice. Like War Chief has a
hatchet in there.
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Shadow Tracker J has the sword of the
Sword of the Spirit.
Sword of the Spirit, and Cubinator has
Everybody's
a
got
battle
their favorite
axe.
weapon.
I like Tracker J. She has a I keep forgetting what that thing is. A maze, a sin, something.
Something star, Morning Star.
Morning Star. Okay.
Mariella says shadow. She's waving at the Shadow Trackers.
Waving at the Shadow Trackers.
Karen Clayton is here saying howdy y'all.
Hey,
hi Karen, how you doing?
Good seeing you again. Mariela Bustos. Angel saying hi to everybody. Everybody saying hello to Clayton. I mean Karen. War Chief said he came in 30 minutes ago.
Karen, you from Texas with the howdy?
Yeah, it's got to be from Texas with a howdy.
Elastic Machinery says I've been shooting links in my private inbox this whole time. Ha ha, every Wednesday they know I'm coming with a link. Good. Good. We do have quite a few in chat already. Maybe not by other people's standards, but by ours, and it's a good solid group.
And CT is translating already.
She says, yes, Jerry, you are right. My daughter had to make another profile because I couldn't write anything on the comments. Oh, good. Okay.
Good. And if Kay tries that, I'm sure she will be able to work with that.
Jody says, so exciting, Thunder Trackers.
Lyrical Jazzy says, we got Tracker J, Shadow Tracker J, Tracker JA, and Instructor JW.
Deborah, I skipped Deborah. It says no children on altars, right?
Yeah, she's oy vey. No children on altars.
And Cube says, "Hoop, okay. Sorry, Elastic Machinery. I'm good. It's a busy time for me, and we're all caught up. More howdies, more hellos, and congrats."
Right. So let's get started, so we don't get too far behind on this.
Yeah, because this one we can't get 5 words in before we want to.
And it'll be the same way with y'all.
I'm gonna hit these lights.
Give us just a second.
Got your popcorn and your snacks ready. We had hobo stew tonight, so we already ate. Flip the camera.
Not yet. Let me
Sony's Sonia Zohar from A
13.
Flash of Beauty Bigfoot. Fair use.
Yeah, let me go and post that one more time. And Shadow Tracker J is saying, get ready to cringe. Yep. CT's got her coffee. I'm going to post this one more
She was
time.
drinking a protein shake.
And this is a fair use for training, for teaching. What people and their mistakes we use for training. And good seeing you, Deborah.
I like the way you put that.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to switch this. Give us just 1
Lyrical
second.
Jazzy says they had chicken and rice with fresh vegetables. Oh, good meal. War Chief's got coffee and donuts.
Oh. We're just going to switch this to the back. And then we're going to, let's see, that's the bottom. So let's let this woman, I'm not sure how far we're going to get in before we have to stop it. But you'll understand just like us in just a moment.
Julie just had a sweet potato.
Oh, all right.
That all
Donuts and
sounds
coffee,
good.
fresh vegetables, yummy. All right. Here we go. Oh. Give us 1 second again. I'm going to put this little block here until we get started. Okay, let me make sure the volume's up. There we go. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit for you. Okay, here we go.
Sasquatch for me and research is probably the biggest surprise in my entire life. Jane Goodall and Diane Fossey were my heroes, and I studied anthropology in college just for fun.
Okay, so right there, she studied it just for fun. So she didn't get a degree in, what's it, anthropology?
Mm-hmm.
So she took it for fun, so it wasn't a serious subject for her.
So I didn't believe in Bigfoot. Matter of fact, I thought Bigfoot was the jackalope of the Pacific Northwest. And then I watched a TV show, not even on my own volition. My roommates had wanted me to watch this show about Bigfoot, and I was laughing, and I came home after work, we have some beers. And this happened to be a show that had Jimmy Chilcutt, who is a fingerprint expert. And based on the 2 casts that he was analyzing, he said that he would stake his 20-year career as a fingerprint expert, that there was a non-disclosed bipedal primate in North America, and that shifted my life forever. It really did. Something about all of my energy, I just stood up. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I instantly ran down to my office. I jumped on my computer and I started at the beginning, and that would be the Patterson-Gimlin film. I watched that film every night for a year. Forwards, backwards, I watched people talking about it. I watched what they had to say, but it didn't matter. I had to watch that film, and I had to make the decision for myself that it was valid evidence of Sasquatch. And I did. After a year of watching it, 2 things came up for me. 1, Patty has breasts.
After a whole year.
It took her a year. What it took everybody else 30 seconds to see.
And it's a good point what Tracker Lorna is saying.
What's she saying? Well, bridges behind her. I know. Yeah, that's the first thing we had said too.
Yes. You don't have to go somewhere far. You've got these things wrapped behind you. Those are Bigfoot bridges. The city didn't put those trees right there for the kids to run across.
Those are ambush spots on either end.
She's sitting in an ambush area. Oh my goodness!
And really, if you watch that section,
yeah,
you'll keep your eye on this section, because there's times when the leaves will move, most of the leaves, but some just stay still. And then over here too, further, there'll be when it pans out a little bit.
Right
just watching those areas
here. Because after a while, you're going to see all these leaves move, but this section right here, where these two eyes, his nose and mouth is, will not move, but everything around it will move. And yes, she is sitting in a trap area.
So she had to watch it over and over every day for a year, forwards and backwards, to say, "Yep, those are boobs."
Yep, she's got breasts. Bigfoot's got breasts. Took her a whole year to figure that out.
What was the second thing?
And the second thing is,
and two, when she lifts her back foot up, I actually thought that white back foot made it not credible. But when I started watching gorillas walk upright and see their white foot come up and the perfect hairline around it, if you watch them, they're almost identical matches. So I realized, and if you look at the footage, what was available in Hollywood at that time that Patterson-Gimlin film came out, the best.
And you know, she's not the only person who said this. And she probably watched the people who actually said this in the beginning.
That's what I'm thinking.
That she's just regurgitating, repeating.
It was going through my head. There's not an original thought in this woman's head.
She hasn't any original thoughts in her head. She's repeating, and you can find everything she says somewhere else. Like I know for the longest time, and she said that she watched these films and watched this and watched that for a year, and that's where her thought is coming from, because she says, because if you look at the Hollywood Planet of the Apes,
I've heard that.
That's almost word for word from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That it couldn't be.
Did she notice the other predators within that?
Yeah, she didn't notice the other predators that were in that same video that was trying to lure these people to the other side out of their safe zone.
Patty was nothing but bait.
A
decoy.
Yeah.
Not bait. Well, in a sense.
And this woman is using almost word for word what other people have said. But she's trying to make it sound like she had this thought.
A costume and special effects we had were Planet of the Apes. And if you line up Planet of the Apes with Patty, it's irrefutable evidence.
That's not irrefutable evidence.
It's not irrefutable.
It's not that I don't think it's a legitimate video, but that wouldn't be the standard for irrefutable.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the standard for irrefutable evidence.
And look, have y'all noticed as we're watching these, that every time they're like super focused on their hands? It's like the more somebody's trying to get you to believe them, the more they use their hands, like a magician or a mesmerizing.
Watch this hand. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I want you to not hear what I'm saying, because I don't know.
Theatrical with their hands. I'm expecting a puppet to pop up.
Best costume and special effects we had were Planet of the Apes. And if you line up Planet of the Apes with Patty, it's irrefutable evidence that filming is true and valid. And that's really what started everything for me. It's really funny too, because once I got into Sasquatch, I really had to evaluate my whole life, in the sense that I had to be honest with myself, and I had been dismissing that I'd actually had paranormal experiences my whole life. And I think because I'd been so much on the science side of things, the philosophy, I know I loved research, and I know I loved to know about ancient civilizations, and I would read things about UFOs, and I definitely believed in ghosts. However, I think I was always afraid to be categorized as an empath or a psychic. But
this woman is going to categorize herself
as special,
as an empath, a psychic. But when we listen to her further, she contradicts herself on everything she says continuously throughout this whole thing. So get ready.
However, I think I was always afraid to be categorized as an empath or a psychic. But once I got into Sasquatch, that really melted away, because I had to admit that I'd had these experiences paranormal my whole life. And even once when I was 8, actually, in the backyard of my house, I was gifted and with something. And even at the time, I didn't dismiss that experience. I remembered that experience, but I
But you
never
just
talked
said
about
you
it.
dismissed everything.
She says she dismissed everything. Now she's saying,
But I didn't dismiss it.
but I didn't dismiss it.
What's going on there, Sonia?
It's already started, Sonia.
And you'll notice,
and there's been a lot.
sorry, when they blink a lot, and when they
Yeah.
when their forehead wrinkles up a lot, those people tend to
Not be telling the whole truth.
yeah, even
And
to
you're
themselves.
gonna see her.
Sometimes to, it's like a yeah.
The body's saying we're lying, and you're gonna see this. And say what your mouth is saying is not what happened.
What
So
he means is
what she means is, can the body say, can I tell my side? The only way I can tell my side is to wrinkle and make you blink and shiver.
Didn't dismiss that experience. I remembered that experience, but I never talked about it. And there's been a lot of experiences like that for me in my life. I know when a house is haunted. I can pick up on energies.
like, you know.
Can anybody tell when a house is haunted? You know, when something
Look
floats by.
Look at that pause.
Oh, that's a great pause. And if you're in a haunted house, you know you're in a haunted house. There's a ghost that just went by.
Everyone gets chills.
Chills.
You know, that's
something
in the
to walk
book,
through the
the
wall.
Predator Bigfoot book, the body's warning signs. That's a common thing. It doesn't make you special.
Body's natural warning signs, voices, orbs, slamming doors. Like in the Amityville horror movie, get out.
Just a heavy feeling, and that's peculiar. It's just a heavy feeling.
Blood coming out of the walls, like Amityville horror show.
The average person is so sensitive. I wouldn't call them empathic. They're so sensitive that they can walk into a room where people have been arguing. And even if the people are arguing right then, they feel that energy. Every one of us has felt that.
And you can also tell when a person comes in the room who's got a negative energy. You're like,
yeah.
My goodness.
You can spot it across a Walmart.
Or if they're a energy vampire, they're going to come up against, and you're going to see them go to the most energetic. And once they leave, that person is tired or not as talkative. So you're not special in this part because anybody.
And in a way, she's very, very special.
She's she's
how
special.
She wants to be.
And if you read out of the Approach to Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path on page 114, it talks about the body's natural warning signs of that coolness, or that hair stands up, or you feel a breeze, or the hair on your right arm or left arm, or so she's not as special as what there's everybody's body is made up of feelings. So we're going to feel everything that's around us. There's not a place on your body that you can't poke with ink or with a needle and not feel it. You can feel when negativity people come in, or negative people come in. You can feel
when somebody got attitude.
Yeah, attitude.
I sense a tone.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so proud right there.
And there's been a lot of experiences like that for me in my life. I know when a house is haunted. I can pick up on energies. I've always been gifted certain insights and knowledges that I don't understand how I know them. So it's not out of the question that I would actually move into researching Sasquatch. But it's also very interesting that prior to then, I really did dismiss all of those. I just said, oh, that happened, and I would leave it. I never really.
That's just like, let's catch up just a little bit.
I dismiss, yet I don't dismiss, except when I do.
Karen is saying, institutes, etc., allow these show ponies to participate. They sure do. They promote these people. They will get play all over the place.
And it took like 5 minutes in, if that, to figure out this one, to say, I bet she's from California.
Yeah, we actually said that.
Yeah. she's from
Elastic
California.
Machinery says,
Where is it? Close to identical is not identical. What does that mean? Comparing Planet of the Apes with Patty? More empath talk. Yeah.
it is. It is. Accumulators agreeing. Let's check.
Says Bigfoot made me realize I had a whole community to exploit for attention. I'm special. Empath. LOL.
Track loader is gritting her teeth already. Shadow Tracker J says, I didn't need a degree in anthropology to know all that. And this one don't have a degree. She said she took it for fun.
Took it for fun.
So she wasn't even serious about that.
She basically just had an interest in, sounded like in mocking anything to do with Bigfoot and jackalope and whatever. Elastic Machinery says a cup smashed against my head. I might know I'm special. The houses might be haunted. I'm an empath.
I'm an empath. That cup hit you in the head.
Karen says definitely mixed up. Julie says she needs to pick a lie and stick with it. Thank you.
Exactly.
Shaking my head. That's when you see all that internal conflict in the body. The things don't, sooner or later they'll have one eye that closes a lot more than the other. There's just.
That's a good one. She needs to pick a lie and stick with it. I like that one.
War Chief says she's been in California too long. What a hack actor. Yeah, doesn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Seriously,
acting.
You're right. She's so inauthentic. Truly, it's like watching someone performing for a theater, but like puppet show, like
using the hands,
everything,
the gestures.
Everything is rehearsed, or
like she's done this before somewhere.
Bob says she is pontificating. She is a pontificating egghead that is continually congratulating herself. She will teach others to be a Sasquatch Happy Meal. Thank you, Bob.
Sure will. Sure will.
Deborah says, "Oh wow." JR says, "I haven't yet seen Planet of the Apes, so I don't yet have evidence."
So we can't compare that just yet. So
Maria is laughing. Mariella is laughing. She says, "Okay."
Okay.
Elastic Machinery says, "Absolutely correct, J&E. Walking into a room, knowing whomever we're just arguing is from their body language, microfacial expressions, spontaneous statements, radiation of their vibe. Nothing new." Yep.
It is, but she's saying she's special. She's saying she's got it. She's got
4 minutes in.
Yeah, we're 4 minutes in. And the first part we just listened to is the intro. But it gets better.
It's also very interesting that prior to then, I really did dismiss all of those. I just said, "Oh, that happened," and I would leave it. I never really talk about it again, or maybe it would be good campfire talk. But
okay, there again,
I never took the ability or the.
You didn't talk about it, or it was campfire talk. Like you can't get one.
I didn't talk about it, but it was just campfire
it was
talk.
Campfire. I didn't talk about it except when it was around the campfire and I talked about it.
Quit. Stick to one line. Stay with that. Come on.
All of those. I just said, "Oh, that happened," and I would leave it. I never really talk about it again, or maybe it would be good campfire talk. But I never took the ability or the information seriously. And then something with Sasquatch, because when I did go live in the forest.
I'm sorry, your mannerisms just go all over me.
And her smile, her gestures, it's just amazing. She is an actor.
It's like a politician. She would be a good politician.
She took an acting in college or in some
she did.
theater.
She was a theater kid.
Yeah.
I was a theater kid, but
I took it too. But
I had stage fright.
That's
I'd do great in rehearsal, but then if I look at the audience,
I'm sure you got better grades than I did.
Yeah, they told Jerry's teacher told him, "You will never be an actor.
You will never be an actor. You will never be in movies."
Not true. His ear is in a movie.
Yeah, my ear's in a movie. And I'm in a mask in another movie. It's called Smoke Traders, and it's in Northern Territories. And another movie is called
So take that, drama teacher.
Drama teacher. My ear was in that movie.
How about
throughout the
that?
entire movie,
How about that?
or you can see me way in the background.
Matter of fact, they told him he looked too fierce and like he wanted to kill people.
And so we can't put you in here. You look like you want to just kill everybody. I like, kind of do. You said give us that look. I gave you that look,
It
and
was
you
a
said
warrior
no,
look.
no, 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 no.
They said they're a little too warrior,
A little
too gangster warrior.
too gangster warrior. And they actually said you look like you want to kill somebody.
And then something with Sasquatch, because I did go look in the forest for Gigantopithecus,
Oh.
which is a bipedal primate that has lived on this planet before, that we do have a biological record for. I really went into this looking for that experience, and it didn't take me very long to realize that this was actually more than that experience, that it was paranormal. It took me
But she's dismissing everything. Now it's paranormal. Now
Paranormal primate.
paranormal primate. Now let's catch up a little before we get too far. And this is where they said, you call it, War Chief. Yep, she's an actor.
War Chief said, like Governor Gavin Newsom, he crossed my mind, War Chief. It sure did, with all those hand gestures. Yes.
Yeah, body language, shaking his.
She's gonna do the shimmy in a minute.
The shimmy.
Elastic says LOL War. CT says twin. Elastic says CT yes. Ann says, so did she dismiss anything or just think about it? We don't know. She doesn't know.
She said, I don't talk about, well, except for the campfires.
She lies to herself.
She's continuing to.
Karen says, hey, Cube, would those toy dollhouses rock be classed as a trap? Would those toys dollhouses rock be classed as a trap? I must have missed a comment earlier.
Yeah.
Jody says, ha ha ha, ear famous. That's right.
Yeah, you can see my ear. And I played one of the chiefs, and there's 4 chiefs there. They scan from the left, you see the first chief, the second chief, and then they switch to the left side. You see that chief, and then you see me lean into the camera, and you see my ear.
And the rest of them's on the cutting room floor.
Cutting room floor. They could have shown a picture of all 4 chiefs. They could have scanned all the way across, but they went to the first 2, stopped, cut, went to the back side, got that one, and come back and got my ear.
You were just too handsome. They didn't want you upstage in the main actors.
They said I look too mean. I said, that's what you said you wanted.
You were fierce.
Yeah, but you look like you want to hurt somebody.
Shadow Tracker J says she should do drug commercials where they act like the drug is so great while the fine print tells you how horrible it is. That's a great point.
That would be a good one.
1 minute what it'll do for you, and 2 minutes what it'll do to you. Cube says Karen Clayton, yes. Ann says fake, fake, fake. Yeah, we can all read it. Elastic Machine, and we must all be empaths. Elastic Machinery says too authentic for Hollywood, Jerry. Yeah, right.
It was. They said no, we don't.
War Chief says, Jerry, I was in the Last Picture Show in 1971. Oh, that's cool.
Hey, all right. I have to look at that.
Karen Clayton says, you can put that pickup. I can't. You can put that pickup. I can't.
It might be from Cubanet or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he says, Elastic Machine says,
oh, yeah, go ahead.
Says, really, War Chief? That's wild.
Ann says, y'all are too funny. Marielle is laughing. CT, thank you for interpreting. Karen says a train wreck.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse too. This train's going off the rails.
Cube says her eyes are cold and calculating. It is curious to me, yet she is fraudulent. Yeah, she's War Chief says, Ella, truly I was an extra, a high school football running back. Oh, I believe you.
Okay, wow, that's good. Did you score?
I didn't doubt you for a second, War Chief.
Yes, I scored, Jerry. As our friend Jim would say.
War Chief says, yeah, well, both my ears were in there, Jerry. Anne says she looks so removed from anything she's saying, almost like she's drugged or disinterested.
Yeah.
Yeah, well rehearsed, or I don't know, and yet a bad actor. Julie says, War Chief Tracker C. That's awesome. That is. We're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check out that one.
War Chief says twice.
And Jody says,
all right. 2 movie stars in our mix, says Jody. That's right. Cube says Karen is referring to a pic in the Bush Predators group, Jerry. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get back to the special empath
That she is.
Realized that this was actually more than that experience, that it was paranormal. It took me a while to get with someone to actually want to go in the woods with me to do this research. I really wanted to do the research. I was dedicated from that minute. I mean, from the minute I conceptualized that there was a possibility.
I to get somebody that would want to go in the woods with me, and I'm like, I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, I'd be like, if she called us, I'd be like, no.
the anthropologist who
the one who took the anthropologist course.
Yeah.
She's not an anthropologist.
Well,
she took the course for fun.
Realized that this was actually more than that experience, that it was paranormal. It took me a while to get with someone to actually want to go in the woods with me to do this research. I really wanted to do the research. I was dedicated from that minute. I mean, from the minute I conceptualized that there was a possibility that this primate actually existed.
So was that before the full year? I mean, that was after the full year of watching Patty.
Yes.
And then she saw the fingerprint guy.
And then it took her a long time to get somebody to go out.
She instantly had a knowing.
A knowing.
And then she had to convince somebody to spend time out there with her. So she had to find people who would use her for bait.
Yeah, they're not going to do it for free.
They're still like, what do I get out of this?
They're like, what do I get out of this? You want me to take you out? They're like us. We don't charge.
We're not saying you're a bad looking girl. You're a cute girl.
You can get someone to get you to take you out there into the woods alone in the mountains. But you ain't going with us.
But you're perfect for bait.
Yeah, you're perfect bait.
Wanted to go in the woods right away. However, it took me several years of theoretical research and then really reaching out to people who do the research themselves, who go in.
She said it took several years to get somebody to go out there with. She had to research for several years.
I think so, because she's taken. So right now we're probably at about 5 or 6 years of being at home. Nobody wanting to go out with her yet.
Talk somebody into.
And she's gonna research and find somebody. And guess who will do it?
I was dedicated from that minute. I mean, from the minute I conceptualized that there was a possibility that this primate actually existed, I wanted to go in the woods right away. However, it took me several years of theoretical research and then really reaching out.
Oh, it took
couldn't
her.
Just like, walk outside.
It took her
you couldn't just
years.
Go in the woods.
It took her several years of
conceptualizing theoretical research.
Theoretical research, not any actual research.
She had to talk about it for years.
That means she's looking at everybody else's research.
Yeah.
And she's trying to put things 2 and 2 together
and memorize them
to say that it's hers, or that she came up with the idea through everyone else's research.
And then convince somebody.
And then she had to convince somebody that she knew what she was doing.
And I promise I'll be quiet when we get out there.
I promise I'll behave. Oh, a couple of thousand? Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, 3,000.
3,000 to be exact, if not more. The guy who takes her out charges that much for their experience.
Oh, wait, while we're stopped, we got to read Lyrical Jazzy's Caught My Eye. Hold on a second. Let's scroll back up real quick. We'll go back to where we're.
Let's go back to JR where he says, I got cut out of home movies.
I got cut out of home movies. Elastic Machinery says, I've got a good movie recommendation now. Thanks at War Chief.
Shadow Tracker J.
War Chief says, I
Shadow
could.
Tracker J says, me too.
Oh, I don't see that one.
Me too, JR.
It didn't show up on mine.
And then War Chief now.
War Chief says, I couldn't follow someone like her to the out. Cube says, for someone claiming to be an empath, she is so cold emotionally. She really is playing a role for the camera. Yeah.
She sure is. You're right.
They're laughing at War Chief. Shadow Tracker Jay's laughing at War Chief. And Jackson retracted a message.
She says, haha about the movie. Tracker J.
Yeah, see, they're not all showing up on mine. Lyrical Jazzy?
Yeah.
Says, okay,
sorry.
since we're saying what movie we were in, I was in the documentary film called Bad River, A Story of Defiance, but blink and you'll miss me. Oh, that's so nice.
All right. That's called Bad River.
That's right. That's right.
A documentary film, Bad River.
Sure were.
Is that on YouTube?
That's the one with the, can we say?
Yeah.
Well, we'll let her say which one it is.
Okay. Shadow Tracker J says she keeps calling it a primate. She sure does.
Elastic Machinery says she conceptualized Bigfoot was real. Step 1. Watch YouTube. Step
2.
Trick someone to take her out there.
Trick somebody, yeah.
Jody says another movie star, Jazzy. That's right. You are among. Well, I guess that ain't high praise to any of us.
What's it
Just
called?
say movie stars. None of us care for them.
Yeah, what do they call theatrical people?
Besides actors?
Actors? It's a certain word I forgot. That's why I flunked.
That's why you flunked.
And she said, "You will never be on my movie." I said, "Come on."
Shadow Tracker J says, so many superstars.
Everybody said, well, I was in the movie. I was in the movie. I was in the movie. Here we go.
Out to people who do the research themselves, who go into the woods looking for them. I had to meet somebody who was willing to take me, and I finally did. And I did go with.
Who was willing to take you. She had to find somebody who was willing.
Finally, I did. And it only cost me $3,000.
And this guy, he charged me to take me out. And he wasn't willing to. He said,
we heard him.
And you're going to laugh because you know exactly who would charge somebody to take them out. Not that they're willing, not that they research, or not that it's important, but for the money and bait. If they're good bait, he will take them out.
She doesn't say $3,000, but we know somebody who paid $3,000 to be bait for this person.
And that's why he's set the price at to take that person out, to be used as bait also.
Really reaching out to people who do the research themselves, who go into the woods looking for them. I had
thespians.
She had to save for 3 years to come up with the money.
Well, yeah, she had thespians. She had to save up money because this guy who was willing to take her out that she found said for $3,000, it may be more than that now.
She said, "Look, I'm an unemployed
actor from California." Look, Tracker Lorna, look at her.
Yep. Tracker Lorna caught it. Yep.
And everybody knows. Surprise. Who's going to charge you to take you out? Oh, look, there's Jody.
She said thespian. Very good.
Good. All right.
Elastic Machinery says theatrical people are also known as weirdos, Jerry. I believe that's the term you
Hey. It wasn't a career.
No, you weren't an actor.
I was not an actor.
Cube says, was willing to take me. Guess he had to be an empath too. Huh?
Yeah, he had to be an empath.
Problem is the people around her were empathic and they're like, no way.
No, the other one's like, no, I'm an empath. There ain't no way I'm taking you out. And
Todd Standing.
There you go.
And some others too. You'll be interested to hear who else is willing to use her for bait.
And you know who these other people are who are willing to use her for bait.
War Chief says she is so full of herself, you can see her spewing out all over. Hey,
she is.
Can't you like that? Truly.
She is. And it gets worse.
You know what? If we were all at a party, we would be the little group over there in the corner.
We are that little group in the corner. That's why we only have 17 subscribers. I mean, we are
But
that
the
little
best
group.
ones.
The best ones. But we always looking at the professional researchers and the famous researchers going, that guy don't know, have a clue in the world what he's talking about.
To meet somebody who was willing to take me, and I finally did. And I did go into the woods. But I will admit, I went into the woods looking for Gigantopithecus. That's what I thought it was, or a relic hominid, like a Neanderthal that we hadn't discovered yet. And if you really think about it logically, when the colonists came to North America, they were not on an anthropological expedition. So if a non-human bipedal, most likely nocturnal primate lived in these woods, how would we know?
Huh? How?
How? I'm gonna leave this one alone.
Okay.
Wouldn't know. No one was looking at that. No one would be.
Her tattoo
searching
says
for that
touch
kind of evidence.
only,
So-
and there's one other word, and we can't figure out what that other word is.
What a lot of people should have done was ask
Or at least one
people,
other word.
the people who were here, if there are predators, because before the ship came, we were calling it the arrival of evil, because this predator was already here and it was already hunting people.
That's not what she says the natives say.
Oh, well, she would know.
Why would somebody get touch only something something on their wrist? Anybody seen that kind of tattoo anywhere? Touch only what? Touch only what, Sonia?
It took me a while to.
Let me see if I can get it off. Her tattoo says touch only something. Touch only something.
Something, something.
Find someone that I could partner up with and actually trust to go into the woods. And then we did. We went way out in Montana, and my first time in the woods, I had an experience, and I actually believed that that's what was going to happen.
So this is years later.
Years later, before she even went
after
out.
she discovered that they're real and knew we're
Through
fact.
everyone else's research. Then she come to her conclusion.
The first time she's ever been out in the woods.
This is the first time she's going out ever, and this is years after when she first heard it, which was not too long ago.
If you read our book, you would know you could go behind the local hotel dumpster.
You would know those trees laying behind you.
They planted you right at another ambush spot.
And you wouldn't have to spend $3,000 to $5,000 to find the same exact thing that is right behind you. Oh my goodness. And this also tells everyone how much information she has right now to be sitting in front of some Bigfoot bridges, right in front of them, and not know what they are or point it out. So these logs behind me, this is what the Bigfoots use to get prey to cross over. And there's going to be traps on both sides. If you go over there and look, you're going to find those traps.
Nobody else talks about that but us.
Oh.
And I find these earrings to be stupid in the woods.
Yes.
They're going to snag on branches. You're going to rip her earlobe.
Rip your earlobe.
Take those off, Sonia.
I think we talk about it so much here that it's common knowledge
Well,
here.
she's on a path.
All of our trackers and viewers and people who are here with us all the time, they know this. So it's common knowledge here. That's why I take it for granted.
Yeah, we want y'all to share that information. That when we say a Bigfoot bridge, that's what we're talking about.
And this woman has no idea, but she's given her opinion as I don't even want to say the word expert, but she's going to get around to where she knows everything, but yet she's standing right in front of a trap or right on a trap. Oh my goodness.
Montana, and my first time in the woods, I had an experience, and I actually believed that that's what was going to happen.
She paid somebody to take her to where Bigfoot activity is happening. So, and they're guaranteeing her an experience. Todd will guarantee you that they will have some kind of interaction, because he will have the women urinate in that area.
Drink a lot, so they have to urinate more.
He will have the women go out in the darkness by themselves to attract these
What
things.
a hero.
And he, like what she's about to tell you what they did to her here, she doesn't understand she's bait. She don't understand that they used her and her funds.
She's excited that she's got some big names with her, and that makes her important.
She thinks she's important and special right now. Lyrical Jazzy says she knows everything about nothing.
Right. Elastic Machinery says she
let
could.
me back up.
Oh, okay.
Where she said, or before that, he said she's full of herself that you can see her spewing it out all over. And he says, "My bad."
He's.
CT.
I can't read.
Oh,
that.
that's in Spanish.
War Chief says.
Karen
Thank
says
you, though,
nocturnal.
CT.
Yeah, and she don't know what she's talking about.
War Chief says so. She remembers all of this from class.
The class that she made fun of, that she took just for fun.
Yeah. Cube says she was this hand symbol of superiority. I'm seeing.
Yeah, some kind.
Julie says all she has to do is turn her down. CT also, CT's saying Todd Standing. War Chief says, Jerry, she is gifting herself, don't you know? She herself is the gift.
She is the gift. She is the bait. She is the prize.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Elastic says Todd Standing could be dressed up against standing behind her and she'd never know it. Trucker Lorne says many predators behind her.
Yeah.
CT says that too. Lyrical Jazzy says she knows everything about nothing. That's right.
Exactly.
Talks a whole lot and says nothing.
Whole lot about nothing.
Julie says shame on him.
Yeah.
We agree.
We do agree.
War Chief says I do believe that she knows just enough to become a Bigfoot turd.
Yeah.
Bluntly put.
And
or to cause someone else to.
And she's lucky she hasn't been already.
One of my gifts is that I have an amazing connection with nature, and
so much so that she.
This is one of her amazing gifts.
It took her 45 years to get into the woods.
We got to listen to one of her amazing gifts. This is one of her amazing gifts.
One of my gifts is that I have an amazing connection with nature and animals, and so animals are never afraid of me. And somehow, anytime I'm in the forest, I always have some sort of interaction with an animal that just shows up. So
that is so wild. You mean to tell me there's animals in the woods?
No. Or there could be, but they show up
for her.
When she goes into the forest,
it's almost like
an animal or
Cinderella.
A bird or a squirrel or a raccoon or a possum.
Weird. She empathically knows where to go.
And that she says when she goes out to the forest, magically an animal will appear.
It's
a squirrel,
only one of her
bird,
many gifts.
Oh my goodness. This is one of her gifts, that if she goes out into the forest, there will be an animal.
Not afraid of you. Bigfoots definitely aren't afraid of you.
Oh no, they love it. But there will be an animal in the forest if she goes out there.
It's the weirdest thing.
It's the weirdest thing. It just happens all the time. It
gift.
Doesn't fail.
Not everybody has that.
There's also sticks out there and rocks.
She instinctively knows. It takes her 17 years to prepare, but she knows right where to go.
Yeah, this is all after years and years of not just preparing, but finding somebody.
Look, this is someone who, when the company came to visit, the parents said, Sonia, do your little dance. Show them your dance. Show them your recite the play. And the guests all had to sit there and watch and clap for her while she sang her latest song or did her
And she would do it happily. I got to read these quick comments because it's just funny. And this is where she's talking about thespians. Yeah, that's it. Karen says Snow White.
Snow White. That's right.
And all the animals follow her. Shadow Tracker Jay has that same ability. Look,
I seem to have connections with mosquitoes and ticks.
That's why I had this time. I love that one.
Or Chief says Bigfoot will be needing a toothpick after he has you for lunch.
He will. He will. He's gonna have to.
Tracker Lorne is laughing.
She finds animals. She has that connection. Oh my goodness.
Somehow, anytime I'm in the forest, I always have some sort of interaction with an animal that just shows up. So why would I think that I wouldn't have this interaction with this primate? However, from the very first beginning.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Did you see that smile? That she's so proud of herself for finding animals in the forest and knowing that a bird will show up. And like Shadow Tracker Jay says, she finds mosquitoes and ticks, so she has the same ability.
Animal that just shows up. So why would I think that I wouldn't have this interaction with this primate?
We don't.
Right here.
However, from the very first beginning,
right there,
my first experience, I left Montana realizing that something was up, and the reason for that is I'd been having this encounter over a series of days. Something was knocking in the woods. Something was following us around. I would act. You
paid to go into an active area. You paid $3,000 to be bait. And
which we don't know exactly how much you paid, but the person we know paid $3,000.
And so, yes, you're going to have those knocks, and the way Todd is now, you don't know if he's got a recorder out there or
what's knocking,
or what's
beside
knocking.
your knees later.
Something was up, and the reason for that is I'd been having this encounter over a series of days. Something was knocking in the woods. Something was following us around. I would ask it, "Hey, are you still there?" There would be a knock. I would say, "Tell me, make a noise if you're still there," and then it would make this noise. And that noise, though, would be really loud, and it's the same exact noise if you Google a gorilla. You watch the male gorillas, the silverback, when he's ready to leave a territory, when he wants you to go with him, he'll pop his chest.
I want you to wipe his finger off.
That's a whole different noise than a Bigfoot hitting their chest. I mean, a ape hitting their chest. They don't hit it one time. They don't go like a Spartan. They hit it a couple of times, and it don't go pop. It goes bam, like you're hitting your chest. Mm-hmm. It's a meat on fist sound. It's not the same sound. Oh my goodness.
Exactly what I was hearing. But I never had the visual. Like, it was around me, walking around me, but not coming forward. And the very last day that I was there, I gifted. I didn't really know to gift, but I did. I was eating apples.
Of course you knew.
She knew.
It was just an accident.
How can you do all those years of research and don't come across gifters?
Yeah. I didn't really know. It was just remarkable. My psychic abilities just told me to do that.
My ability said gift.
And I looked down and there was an apple in my hand.
And I thought.
And they said, put it there.
I come to this conclusion. I come to this conclusion that on that gifting rock.
They said, but wait, first rub your DNA all over it.
Yeah, and urinate on it. Right where Todd said to put it. I come to the conclusion.
I came to know.
After years of research of not seeing one other gifter in the years.
Never heard of it.
And years I've never heard of it. Because it's okay, I have to hear that again. How do you have years of research and not come across a gifter? We turn this on. Every day that we turn this on, there's a gifter or something.
She had years of watching Jane Goodall. She gifted the gorillas.
And she only watched the Patty film. And no, you're going to see gifters everywhere.
You're lying.
You're lying. You're lying.
And the very last day that I was there, I gifted. I didn't really know to gift, but I did. I was eating apples, and I decided to go back into the forest. It's a much longer story, but I decided to feed this apple for whatever was following us around, and then it made a noise at me. And
well, I mean, you do have a way with animals.
Yeah, didn't you expect that? And you're the only female. And...
You don't see why we can't get more than a sentence in with this girl.
See why this takes 3 to 4 hours. But she also is a lone female out there, and Todd's known for taking females and letting them walk out there alone to coax these things to get so he can get more information and research. He could care less about this person right here. So she's out there by herself, gifting, taking. If you read that new book, Bigfoot Gifters,
You'll understand
you'll
what
under-
she's really doing.
what she's really doing, and she don't know what she's doing, and she is walking into a trap because she's. You have to read the book Bigfoot Gifters. I'm gonna put that up real fast. You gotta watch this. I mean, read this book. It's also on Kindle. It's also
on Amazon.
It's also on Spanish. In Spanish, also on Spanish Kindle, and it is on Amazon.com.
Specifically about gifting and why we should not be doing that.
And why this woman is,
much less paying money to do it.
yeah, she's paying to be bait. So
I decided to go back into the forest. It's a much longer story, but I decided to leave this apple for whatever was following us around, and then it made a noise at me.
and you know, Todd
Whatever
didn't
was
say.
following us around.
Todd didn't say no. Don't go out there by
No,
yourself.
of course not.
No, don't go out there without your weapon. Here, take this apple. Here, make sure you use the bathroom out there. We don't have any facilities here.
Yeah,
So.
I brought this big box of apples. Help yourself.
Yep, take as many apples as you want. Just there's a little place up there you could take this to.
But she wants to claim that's an original thought of her own to take an apple out there to the woods and go do that. Easily manipulated person because
She is, and I'm sure if Todd ever sees it,
look at the views. 196,000 views.
196,000 people have
and
watched.
More than one are watching at the same time. So you probably at least double that.
This wrong information. She got stuff right behind her.
That's why we wrote this book. All these
That's
books.
why we had to write them, because people like this, and this information is getting publicized and shared out there by YouTube, and our channel is being shadow banned and kept. They don't want the information, the true information, going out. They want people like this to keep going out there and giving people the wrong information and getting more people hurt.
And I decided to go back into the forest. It's a much longer story, but I decided to leave this apple for whatever was following us around, and then it made a noise at me, and I don't know what that was, and it did it twice, and
I don't know what that was. The whole purpose for me going out there.
Tree knocking, it's whooping.
I don't know.
You're with Todd standing.
Are you dismissing?
I think she is. And she's with a group of researchers in a research area.
She's puzzled.
She's
puzzled.
I don't know what that was. What do you mean you don't know what it was?
17.
You paid $3,000 to go find Bigfoot in a research area with Todd standing and other researchers, professional people.
Whatever could it be?
I think it was a raccoon. I think it was a snake, maybe a chipmunk that was making loud bangs, following you through the bushes and whooping and popping at you. And what do you mean you don't know what it was? What do you? Oh,
it was one of them there Gigantopithecus.
Gigantopithecus? Wow, I ain't never seen one of them. They're Gigantopithecus. What'd you call that thing? Gigantopithecus. Well, I ain't never seen no such thing.
Apple for whatever was following us around, and then it made a noise at me, and I don't know what that was, and it did it twice, and my companion heard it.
Your companion, you said you were alone.
Exactly, I thought you was alone.
She just said she was alone.
Now your companion. Come on.
Or do you mean your demonic companion?
Stick to one lie and stay with it, like Julie said. This one, she said.
Hey, Bernard's in the room.
She said, I went out there by myself, and even my companion heard it. What? Let's catch this again real fast.
Deborah Mueller says that we are a clique, but only in the best kind of way.
In the
because
best
we
kind of
click.
way. And you could tell people who've been in this clique
All have the same information.
because we say that's wrong what you're doing, young lady.
Lyrical Jazzy says, "Oh my gosh, in the woods there are sticks and leaves and bugs. Oh my, but you're so special, Sonia." Elastic says she had to laugh at herself. She did the crap-eating grin, the type when she thinks she got away with her lie, wasn't it though?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if she had brothers, she irritated the mess out of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Karen says, "Bush is moving. Good eye, Karen."
Good eye.
JR says, "Every time I go into a forest, a tree appears." It's like they come out of nowhere.
It's like every time I go in the
Mariel
forest.
is laughing. Cube says, "Yes, Karen Clayton, bushes are moving, not from the wind." Yep.
Yeah, we've seen some things too behind her.
Truth Walker's clapping. Night Stars is laughing. Hey, Night Stars, were you in here earlier?
Yeah, well, I posted her name. I didn't.
Okay.
And she's laughing at JR saying he found a tree in the forest.
Karen says, "Cube has always been concerned about my movements every time I go out. That's what true people do." Mm-hmm.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Truth
Night
Walker
Star,
hides,
yeah.
Night Stars. And there's Bernard.
Bernard was wondering if you would show up tonight. Glad you're here.
Glad you're here.
Let's see. Julie says, "But wait, I thought she was an empath. Didn't she already know?" Yeah. And she has that connection with the animals.
Good
right?
catch, Julie.
Right?
Because she is supposed to be the empath to catch all this.
Bernard, we're not very far into this one. This girl's something.
Everybody's saying hello to Bernard.
Lyrical Jazzy says, "Link for Bigfoot Gifter's book." Thank you for that, Lyrical Jazzy.
Thank you, Lyrical Jazzy. She says, "Hey, Truth Walker Cubenator."
Shadow Tracker says, "I would only charge her $10 to go out in the woods behind my house." That's right, and she'd see just as much as she sees there.
Yeah.
I'd charge her $10 to stay off our property.
Yeah.
Or I'd pay her $10 to stay off our property.
And out of any forest.
Everybody's glad Bernard is here. Elastic says, "I don't know what it was. I just described ape behavior. It made a noise at me. I'll leave it up to you listeners to say it's a Bigfoot for me, so it tricks you into believing me." Yeah, very manipulating person.
Yeah.
or tries to be, just not good at it.
Tries to be, yeah.
I don't know what that was, and it did it twice, and my companion heard it, and
while she was alone,
I really believed I was looking for a Gigantopithecus. And so I'm going to kind of just leap over that whole experience to share with you what happened at the end, because this is when I realized it wasn't just an ape or a normal primate that you would expect.
But she said it's not a normal primate. So it's still a primate. It's just not a normal primate to her.
To her.
As we were leaving, all of a sudden, I started to cry. And
oh, Lord.
No, you didn't start to cry. Your body started to cry. Your body's saying, "Thank you for getting me out of here. I was surrounded. I knew what was there. You knew what was there, but you wanted to take me gifting. You wanted to take me alone with my partner.
I've had it with you, lady.
I've had it with you. I'm crying because I'm glad we're in the car and we made it to the car and we're leaving is why I'm crying. It's not, oh my goodness, that's why you're crying."
This is one of the phenomena that happens when people have Sasquatch experiences. It's called an out of context emotional response.
Oh,
and I noticed that I was having it right away. There would be no reason for me to be driving away, and all of a sudden, really deep, sad crying. And after
That was your body.
Saying
Your
you almost got us killed.
You almost got us killed.
I can't believe you did
Don't
that to
ever
me.
take me out there again. Let's go back to the city. Let's go back to California. I'm staying indoors.
Take another class.
I ain't even taking trash out. I'm gonna drop it out the window. I ain't going to the store. I ain't going to that. I ain't going nowhere with you.
away, and all of a sudden, really deep, sad, crying. And as we pulled away, all of a sudden, I turned my head and I realized that I wasn't having that experience alone, that was a shared experience. I was having a shared, out of context, emotional response to whatever I had been reacting to or interacting with in the forest.
That's your body, because it knew what was out there. It seen what you didn't see, what you refused to see, and your body was so happy and scared, and it's that crying, scared
that
feeling.
Adrenaline dump.
Whenever you just know that I could have fell off the cliff, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then your body is like, oh, I could have, and the body is like freaking out right now.
Or like people that almost took her out to the woods, and then afterwards you're like, wow, I almost did that.
I almost did that. Yeah. So her body is freaking out on her, but she's went back to the research going, why was I crying? Why? Because she's an empath.
And they got this stupid term for it.
And she only has her empath abilities from time to time when it makes sense.
Yeah.
But this is her body reacting to knowing how dangerous that and how close they came to getting snatched up by one of these creatures. So her body is crying. She thinks it's something else.
And we drove away. And that's when I knew that something was up.
Oh, my goodness. You're about to find out why you should never go back out there.
Something was up, all right.
Something was up, all right. Yeah, your body was saying, I'm so happy that we're leaving. I'm crying because we almost died. I seen it, you didn't. I'm glad we're in the car. Where I feel safe, so I'm going to cry right now. I'm going to cry because I feel safer that we're leaving. Mm-hmm. And it does do that.
And we drove away, and that's when I knew that something was up.
And that's even a nervous laugh. That's even a nervous laugh of her body. Her body's got that nervous laugh saying, no, that's no.
Tell the truth.
We're crying because we're crying. We're happy we're leaving.
There are many aspects to what you would consider, quote, a Sasquatch experience. One of them is unbelievable fear. When you talk to somebody who's had an experience, most often they're going to tell you they have this fear that is just, they can't even describe it.
Why would that be? Why would that be, Sonia?
Why would that be?
Why would most people say that?
Especially if they've seen it.
You're a logical thinker. You keep telling us.
You're an empath. Come on now. Come on. If anybody has been out there, got cornered, the guys from Alaska, I can't think of his name right now. Fred. Those are grown men, all of them with weapons, and still had that fear once they. Police
officers, soldiers, just hardened men.
Military.
Farmers, hunters.
Anyone who's
fishermen.
Come across these things. Mm-hmm. And most will say, I had 30-30 and I didn't feel secure with that weapon. Or I had a 9mm and I did not feel secure with that weapon.
Another is out of context emotions. Another is a very bad smell. There are several phenomena that is really what you would classify as a classic Sasquatch experience. Now, some people will say, well, do you think it's because you're empathic that you're having this experience?
Is that how they say it? Do they say that?
They actually ask you that.
People say that?
She had what, 2, 3
Do you think
experiences?
it's because you're empathic? My whole life,
Is it because
and I'm a sensitive woman. I've never had anybody say, "Do you think it's because you're empathic?"
you think it's because you're an empath?
Or
Do,
because
do you?
Yeah.
That you're getting those feelings of fear and nausea and feel like you just need to run?
I call BS.
I
Sonia.
call BS again. Yes.
We need a bell.
Bing. We do. We need a bell. We need to get a bell for every
We
time
do
they do this.
a BS bell.
Now,
Yeah.
some people will say, well, do you think it's because you're empathic that you're having this experience? And I don't think so. I think that from people that I've taken reports from, especially like hunters, I think.
And she didn't even give an. I think, but she didn't even give an answer. She said, people ask me, is it because you're an empath? She goes, and I don't think that's the reason. So what's the answer to their question?
And look, we tell you be very careful of quote researchers who say, "I think, maybe, possibly,
could be, should be, I
Be
believe."
very careful of that. The information that they're about to put on you,
because they have no idea.
That means they're
because
guessing.
They're guessing right now.
Or they'll state a whole bunch of things as fact and then say, "But I don't know. What do you think?"
Oh my goodness. And this woman says, "I think a lot." So
Yeah.
she doesn't know a lot.
And doesn't even say it strongly. It's I as her
think,
shoulders go up and her eyes close and her body says, "Don't do it. Don't
maybe
do it. Cut a new path, Sonia."
Yeah. Let's get out of here, Sonia. But even when she says, "Do you think it's because you're an empath?" and she says, "I don't think that's the reason." But she's telling other people that she didn't give the answer to that question that she said people ask her all the time.
I think that from people that I've taken reports from, especially like hunters,
I think from their reports.
She's taking reports from. I'd like to know how she takes the reports.
Yeah, where are those reports?
She's just sitting having conversations or like anyway.
I think that possibly the Sasquatch themselves are so psychic that once you're in their presence, you can't help but be also. And that's why people have out of context emotions, which is
it's contact psychism.
Out of context psychism.
Well, she said that if you have contact with them, they're so psychic that bleeds over onto you. Their psychic abilities bleed onto you. Would that be the same as mind speak?
It is. But she said if you have contact with them, that they will, your feelings and their feelings will connect because they are so
powerful
and mighty that they will know Sonia.
You will see that Sonia puts
these
predators above
God.
The Creator.
Yeah. Let's catch up with a little bit.
I think War Chief was the line right there where War Chief says, "I wonder if she empathed a Bigfoot raping her while out in the woods. She really doesn't know that it could happen."
Yeah, she doesn't know. I think we missed one.
Elastic says, "After I got home from gifting Bigfoot, Todd Standing brought me a feather, swearing it was a gift from Bigfoot. It's true because I'm an empath."
And everybody's saying exactly, War Chief. And wow. And Julie
says she is just too full of herself to admit that she's lucky to be alive. Yep.
You're right.
She is really full of herself.
She is.
JR, and yet extremely insecure. It's like a weird combination. JR says, "Needs some Roy Orbison background music crying over you."
Yeah.
Yeah. Jody says, "It's your body freaking out right now." Jerry, what you said there is brilliant. Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Cube says, "Something is up and laughing. She is surrounded by predators, doesn't know it, but thinks she is in charge of her encounter with the predator. Far out."
Exactly. Her body knows it's surrounded. The
like
bushes,
playing
everything.
With Ouija boards.
Yeah. Jody saying exactly Q. Laugh out loud, JR.
Cube says the empathetic expert with just a couple of encounters. Yeah, over the course of 25 years. I don't know.
That she only had these because she couldn't get nobody to take her serious. And then the guys who will use her as bait took her serious. Said, yeah, pay us, we'll take you out there.
Deborah says it was Yosemite Sam following her out there. Yeah.
It was.
Elastic says, I personally have had so much stress from personal experiences that when I knew I was safe to grieve and process, my body waited for that moment to follow through and weep. That has happened to me. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cube says, thinks too much and knows nothing.
Yeah. And then she wants to put it off as what she say is a connection transfer of she
Psychic abilities.
She wanted to try to give it a name instead of saying exactly what happened.
Yeah, out of context.
Out of context.
Emotional responses or
yeah, she wanted to put on a term on it instead of saying my body was freaking out.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Cube says, me too, Elastic Machinery. Our body knows the danger we were in.
Sure does. It sure does.
Elastic says it's not out of context. Not everything you don't understand needs a made up technical term. Thank you.
There you go.
These people right at Cube, and it's not a Sonya made up term, goofy woman.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, I guess I will have to send you a BS bill. That would be so awesome.
We may need it with these groups. Oh my goodness.
Very normal experience to have when you've had a Sasquatch experience. You experience an abnormal fear. Somebody will be walking in the forest and all of a sudden they're afraid and they don't know why.
Abnormal fear is a normal experience?
For her. And on page 114 in the Predator Bigfoot book, the body's natural warning signs, and that's the hair on the back of your neck, the breeze, the hair on your arm, left or right. It lets you know there's something there that you can't see, but the body has picked it up, and it's warning you. It's time to go. It's time to get defensive. Let's make it out here safe.
I've had that experience. Some people will be upset. I cried.
Whoa.
Do you see how she did that? I cried. It was like, and scene.
But she also was trying to put it off as some kind of, what did we say that response was?
Out of context.
But she's saying she cried, like I cried. That was my response to it. But before that, she was saying it was a natural out of body context kind of thing. Now she's saying everyone has that response. My response was I cried.
Nothing your body does is out of context.
No, your body said we're lucky we got out of. Why am I with you? The body.
I want to break up.
Can I change? Can I change minds? Someone give me a different. Somebody get this woman out of here. She is a danger.
And then they're like, oh wait, no, wait. Just retrain her, please. Get the book.
Somebody give her a book. Somebody train her. I don't want to go with her no more. Don't make me go with her no more.
Normal experience to have when you've had a Sasquatch experience. You experience an abnormal fear. Somebody will be walking in the forest and all of a sudden they're afraid. And
abnormal fear.
I've had that experience.
Abnormal fear.
Some people will be upset. I cried.
That's the abnormal fear.
Just very different. They sort of know that something is around them. They don't know why they know it.
So
it's the empath part, yeah?
Yeah, but she said a while ago she gave it an excuse to why she was crying in the car. And then she said that people have the abnormal fear, and she goes, I cried.
Yeah.
She just contradicted why she was crying just then when she said it was a fear. She actually told the truth right there, but before she was trying to say it was because I was around these things and we were connected and I was so sorry, and they were crying because I was leaving.
Yeah.
That I felt it.
It was sad. I felt their pain.
But right now she's saying,
their pain at not getting their meal.
Yeah. So now she's saying because of that response, which was fear, she goes, I cried. So she's actually admitting that that's the reason why she was crying.
I cried. Just very different. They sort of know that something is around them. They don't.
That's on page 114, the body's natural warning signs. Read that one. Sonia, she really needs both books.
Know why they know it. So I do think the experience is available to everyone. As an empath, I think I'm way more privy to it.
You are. You are.
You are. You are. You are. But if you read the book, you'll see that everybody has natural body warning signs.
That would upset her more than the Bigfoot.
It would. And that's why the hair on the back of your neck stands up. That's why you feel something's watching you. Because that's a body's natural warning sign.
Yeah, everybody gets that feeling.
Everybody
That's why
gets
they turn
that
around
feeling.
and look, because they can feel even another human staring at them.
And sometimes, like Lee Tracker E will get that feeling, turn around and take a picture, and then we'll catch a translucent over there, just like the ones behind her.
It ain't because I'm special.
It's because
God gives us all that ability.
we all have
for our
that
bodies
ability
to protect themselves.
to protect ourselves. And if you're reading the book, the spiritual body, which is inside, protects the physical body. The physical body protects the spiritual body. So both work together. Both are to protect each other. And when this person goes against that protection, the body reacts. The body will say, no, stop. Or the body will say, turn left or go right. Or this is far enough. I think this is far enough. Let's go back. That's because the body knows there's something further up there. The spiritual body has already picked that up. Now, to protect the body, the spiritual body will say, let's turn around. This is far enough. Or let's go right instead of left.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, donkey. And the physical body, if you don't want to go any further, you're going to catch a cramp. You're going to stiffen up.
Get a bad headache.
Bad headache. It's
Something.
going to give you a reason to turn around and
An
go.
intense desire to leave.
Or even hunger. They'll say, let's get back, go get something to eat.
Mhm.
Let's do something. I'm thirsty. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. And let's leave this spot.
Because I'm already sensitive to everything that's going on around me anyway. So there's a lot of different ideas of what an empath is or what psychic abilities are. I say that I'm an empath because I pick up on things. I have knowings, and I call them just knowings, and I don't know how I know them. I say it's, I make.
That made no sense at all. I have knowing because I don't know, but I don't know because
you don't
I
have a
knowing.
knowing of why you call them knowings?
I don't even know why I call them knowings. I don't know why I call them knowings.
I pick up on things. I have knowings, and I call them just knowings, and I don't know how I know them. I say
it's. Oh, what's her name? Sonia. Sonia. Oh my goodness.
We lied.
I
We said we
personally
weren't
make
going
the
to pick
distinction
on
between
you.
being psychic.
Yeah, we lied. We didn't mean to.
Now we do.
But now we know why.
From the get-go.
Because she is left and right, top and bottom, contradicting.
Where's your big brother?
Lying
Sonia?
to herself,
He can't stop
lying
you
to
from
people.
doing this.
She is lying to everybody and anything that will listen to her.
I pick up on things. I have knowings, and I call them just knowings, and I don't know how I know them. I say I personally make the distinction between being psychic because I think psychics can actually call that to them. They can actually maybe touch you and say, okay, I'm going to give you this reading. That's not how it happens for me. How it happens for me is I'll just be walking in the forest and hear something that other people won't hear.
Maybe your ears are just better.
Maybe you have better hearing. And maybe people are watching their phone, talking to each other like they always do. And you're probably just the one that's not. No, I don't know. I can see her talking out there.
That's true. And also, if she's on high alert and her body's afraid, it's going to pick up everything.
They would say, if you would be quiet, we could probably hear it.
But we'll start to have an experience based on that. Like, I'm like, are you sure you didn't hear that? And then I'll start looking, or I'll.
A lot of people will say, did you hear that? And point at it and say, over there. and start looking for something because they heard a noise over there.
Mhm.
She's so special.
Feel something. It's really tough to define what empathic is because I think the abilities are different for each person that has these things. So where my empathic abilities arise, where I'm conscious of them, is I experience a thing called motion. I know when something has moved somewhere.
Ooh, that was dramatic.
Oh, nobody knows when something's moved.
She can catch a blur out of the corner of her eye. We talk in the book about blurs.
We talk about the right eye and the left eye. We talk about the body's natural warning signs. You're not special, Sonia.
Your mother lied.
I've had experiences with people who are trackers, and I've done some just basic tracking with them, and they get right away that I'm really good at it. Because
you are.
I like when she used that hand.
They get right away that I'm really good.
I'm really.
People don't think I know a lot about it, but I do.
But I do.
Nacho Libre.
But I do.
But I do.
I have a sense of motion, and I can't explain it. I really can't.
You have a sense that something has moved. Well, you're sure not picking up on those leaves moving behind you, or that squirrel that ran up the tree a while ago. Let me catch a little bit here.
We got that. We're past that.
Oh, good.
We're below Joyce's.
Joyce is going to send us a bell.
BS bell. Elastic Machinery says she needed a camera or weapon with her, but I bet she wasn't allowed to. Yep.
Oh yeah, I bet they wouldn't give it to her. She's gonna send us a BS bell. All right.
Jody says, "Ha, so funny." Cube says, "Sad part is she doesn't know what she doesn't know exactly."
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. She doesn't know what she doesn't know.
Except for when she does. Sometimes she's like, "Can I get away with this statement? Are they gonna buy this?"
Will
and then
will they buy this?
That forehead will wrinkle up.
The eyes will say, "No, quit lying."
Cube says, "Way more privy to be dinner for a predator. Oh please."
Oh, I know.
Angel says, "I got called away before it started. Had to jump start a car. Catch another one." XO. Okay, Angel.
Oh, okay, Angel.
We'll catch you next time. And thank you for helping whoever that was.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says she is not in Christ, so her spirit is dead.
Exactly. You'll never hear her mention God in this whole entire thing.
No, but she mentions gods.
Demons.
Cube says, "Oh, far out. She so needs a predator Bigfoot, but." Tracker Lorna says, "Knowings, know nothing."
Yeah.
War Chief says, "If this had been the Gong Show, this lady's neck might have been broke already."
Should have been
Cube
taken
says,
out.
"Exactly, Tracker J." Cube says, "I remember that show, War Chief. She wouldn't have lasted a full minute. You're right."
Yeah.
Truth Walker says, "Hey, War Chief, good to see you." War Chief's good to see Truth Walker too. And JR says, "I feel the earth move under my feet."
Let's see where she goes now.
I know when someone walked by.
That's amazing.
I know.
Does anybody know when somebody walks by?
I don't. Never.
Sometimes I can even see them walk by, or even
even if my eyes are closed.
Even if my eyes are closed.
When a ghost has been there, it's like
there's been ghosts everywhere.
Energetic. It's like right now this energy feels fine. I don't feel anything, but if something was here, I could go like this and go, oh, right there. And I don't know how I know that. It's like a magnetic pull. Empaths have different things, like we feel emotions.
But she's not psychic because they draw things to you.
And that's what a lot of people empaths
like
people say.
Yeah.
Like a magnetic pull to that area. I feel it, energy over there.
Chewy, I just don't experience. If you were to cry, I don't just see you crying and feel compassion for that. I actually start to feel like I'm going to cry.
Yeah, because you make it all about you, Sonia.
It is about you, Sonia. She said, "I can cry better than you." And then finally,
Your
that
pain
person,
is causing me pain.
that
Stop
person will
it.
come over and comfort Sonia because Sonia's crying. It's about Sonia.
But enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Enough
What do you
about
think
your
of
crying.
me?
What about my crying? Let's talk about my crying.
Like we feel emotions too. I just don't experience. If you were to cry, I don't just see you crying and feel compassion for that. I actually start to feel like I'm going to cry. That's a part of being empathic. And like I said, people have different experiences to their talents. I think it's an empath is a mild form of being psychic, because I can't tell you what
before
your
she
brother
said it wasn't being psychic.
It wasn't being psychic
She
while ago.
specifically said it's not psychic.
But when it pertains to Sonia, it's psychic ability.
She's a low-level empath, but
Not-
that means that nobody can call her out on it and say,
Yeah, she's
okay,
not
then
just
where is
she's not just
this? Or
empath.
what
She's
is this
psychic.
picture? Can you tell me about this picture?
Yeah. So now she's psychic and an empath. She has amazing abilities.
Psychotic.
Like when
No,
JR said he finds
maybe,
trees
could
out in
be.
the forest.
Yeah.
That happens. I've heard that.
Oh, Sonia.
did 16 years ago. But all of a sudden I can walk up and touch
Let's back that up a second.
empathic. And like I said, people have different experiences to their talents. I think it's an empath is a mild form of being psychic, because I can't tell you what your brother did 16 years ago, but all of a sudden I can walk up and touch a sock and say, oh my God, is this your brother's?
In your parents'
Weird
house.
example.
Now, if you're in your own house,
What would make you?
Would you have your brother's socks?
Why would you pick up a dirty sock?
My brother's
Why would you
socks
say,
are
"Oh
not
my
in
God"?
this house. My
How
brother's
stiff is that
socks.
sock? Is it 16 years old?
Yeah.
Stiff?
And so you're at a parent's house
Leave
with
my brother's socks alone, Sonia.
where they live at home together, because I don't think anyone, even in the chat, has their brother's socks in their room.
Oh my God.
And she doesn't say, these are your brother's socks.
She says,
She
oh my
says,
God, are these?
Is this your brother's socks?
Yeah.
She's asking a question, but she's saying she's part psychic to where she can pick something up and say, is this your brother's apple, or whose is it?
Oh my God, she said. Is
She
this
says-
your brother's sock?
And people are going,
They're like, we've been looking
yes,
for that sock for
Sonia.
16 years.
That's not my pair of socks, Sonia.
Put his socks down, you weirdo.
Why are you in my brother's room? Get out of my brother's room, Sonia.
Where is your brother?
Go to your brother's room. You don't need to be in. I invited you over here for dinner, not to go in my
We're
brother's
worried
room.
about your brother, Sonia.
And then she brings it, says, is this your brother's? That's not psychic. That's asking a question. That's more like a fortune teller to try to get you to say that. Yeah, that
a code read.
That seventh, that was it, a 10 wide sock does not fit on my 5 foot.
Taste it and smell it first to know, son.
This gym sock, yeah, that's this size, that is twice my size if it's a female. Yeah, that's my brother's sock. Yeah. That big sock, yeah. That one that's pulled up to your knee and got the.
Good that they say, I don't have a brother, Sonia.
I don't have a brother, Sonia. I wear those. Those are my big feet. You making fun of my feet,
She said, just so happens I'm into big feet.
I'm into big feet. Bigfoots. That's a Bigfoot feet. And she asked the question, oh my God, is this your brother? Get out.
You're going to have to come up with a better example for that.
Better example.
Sonia, don't tell that story again.
Don't tell it again. Get out of their brother's room.
Yeah, come up with something else.
Brother did 16 years ago, but all of a sudden
But she's already talking about the brother.
I think a watch would be a better example.
Yeah, she goes, I can't tell you what your brother did 16 years ago, but I can go in your house, into your brother's room.
Through your laundry.
And go through your laundry. And everybody knows that girls wear different socks than guys.
Not in this family.
Not in this family. This is a size 23 for everybody.
I think it's an empath is a mild form of being psychic, because I can't tell you what your brother did 16 years ago, but all of a sudden I can walk up and touch a sock and say, "Oh my God, is
she
this
was
your
watching
brother's?"
Patty.
What do you mean you can just walk up and touch a sock and say, "Oh my God"?
Why
is this
would
your
you?
brother? Are you in a store?
Is the brother wearing the sock?
Is your brother wearing a sock when you say this?
Get your hand off my brother's.
Oh my God, is this your brother's sock? He's saying, "Get your hand out, get your friend. Somebody get Sonya." Now,
Somebody get Sonya.
somebody get Sonya.
That's the theme of this show tonight.
Somebody come get Sonya.
Come get Sonya.
Somebody come get Sonya. Where else are you going to find those brother socks at a city
Her
park?
brother left years ago because he ran out of socks. He went out for socks.
He
and
went
never
out for
came
socks
back.
because of Sonya. She's picking his socks up everywhere. There's only one place you're going to find those socks, Sonya, and that's in the house of where he lives, or where he used to live. As far you're not going to find his socks out in the park in Georgia on the 43rd Street.
Brother did 16
Oh
years
my,
ago.
come on,
But
son.
all of a sudden I can walk up and touch a sock and say, "Oh my God, is this your brother's?"
Touch a sock in the park somewhere.
And know that. So that's how mine
She
is
has a knowing.
different. I
That's
believe
her
they
knowing,
choose us.
but she doesn't know.
Hair
I don't
flip.
believe we choose them. Okay. I do believe that. Because
Okay,
She said we choose them.
she says they don't choose. I mean, we don't choose them; they choose us.
Let's catch up on comments.
Oh my God, that's why we're only 12 minutes.
in.
Now this is supposed to be an hour and a half show as far as hers.
Let's see.
Oh, this is where he says he feels the earth move
my feet.
under my feet. I feel the
Truthwalker says, "Oh, really? What about the predator Bigfoot standing on the other side of that bridge behind you? Can you feel it?" Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
feel that one?
Exactly. And when it's shaking the leaves over there.
Every leaf is moving but that thing.
Shadow Tracker J says, "I'm crying from laughter, crying tears of laughter from this video." She says, "I know my brother's socks from the smell." Cuban says,
She said, "Wait, you say my feet smell? Is that what you
says
said?"
her spirit is disconnected from her mind. I'm watching her eyes, too dark and not just from the lighting. Her eyes should be lighter. I think she's facing northeast in this interview."
Yeah,
There's a definite disconnect of everything. Nothing.
her mind and
She
body
lies
is
to
not
herself.
connected.
And she's got some attachments.
Jody's laughing.
Jody says Shadow J, LOL, or haha. JR, Marielle is laughing. JR says, "Walk a mile in your brother's sock." Shadow Tracker J says, "I'm laughing so hard right now." JR says, "Am I my brother's sock keeper?"
Am I my brother's sock keeper? Am I my brother's sock keeper? No, I just got big feet. Those are mine, Sonya.
Kim's just gotta say it's hard to listen to her. I'm wishing she'd lose her voice and fast. LOL. She doesn't. She doesn't.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
Jody says, "Me too." War Chief says, "This lady has lost all of her oars out of her canoe. This is better than the Laugh-In show. Mercy."
Yeah.
Jody's laughing. Oh, let's see. Scott says, "I'm very, very late." It won't take you long to catch up.
You can hear
Scott,
about
as a matter of fact, we had said earlier, "Oh, Scott will have fun with this one."
Yeah.
Scott said, "War Chief Blessings brother," and Jamie says, "Hello, Jerry."
Hey, Jamie.
So it won't take y'all long to catch on to this, to Sonya.
Yeah, if you've watched these before, you know where we're at. We're at another.
But y'all do, when you come in late, go back and watch the beginning later, because it's hilarious.
Been good the whole 12 minutes we've watched her. I have a feeling we're not going to make it through all
I
this.
think not.
But we're going to cover the best
We're
parts.
gonna
Empathic.
Yeah.
And like I said, people have different experiences to their talents. I think it's an empath is a mild form of being psychic.
Oh,
because I
actually
can't tell you what your brother did 16
try
years
not to
ago.
interrupt for a little
But
while.
all of a sudden I can walk up and touch a sock and say, oh my God, is this your brother? I know that. So that's how mine is different. I believe they choose us.
Okay.
I don't believe we choose them.
Okay.
I do believe that. Because anybody could have this experience. Anybody could be out in the forest. They're here and they don't choose to show themselves to everybody.
They sure don't. They choose to find the people who are walking around going, "Are you here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Here's
an
an apple. I have no weapons, and
Yeah.
I just took a bath in bacon grease. Would you talk to me?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my favorite tight clothing. I
Yeah,
guess.
right.
I would like to meet with
I'm
you.
good breeding stock.
I'm breeding stock, and I got apple pies and an open mind. I'm
An
wanting
open mind, wide open.
wide open mind for you to invade.
There are people who have been doing this research. There are scientists, biologists, wildlife ecologists who have actually. So I divide the camps up into Sasquatch research.
We can't wait to hear it. Let us hear it. Let us hear it.
Out of her research off of
Her vast
YouTube
repertoire of knowledge.
and everyone else's research that she's went through, she has devised by herself on her own.
This is the Sonia Zohar classification of types of what? Experiencers?
Researchers or something. She has classified
and she's
everybody.
proud of it because she settled in. She adjusted, settled in, and here we go.
She threw that governor kind of sway in. She's thinking in, I got this. I got this.
There are people.
This is my thing. Lead Tracker, you should tell that story real fast.
Oh, okay, real quick. I got a story of somebody who went to an escape room and
that's a game with rooms you have to
like solve a puzzle before you can get out of the room.
And go
it's
to
like
the next room.
Living mystery or something. You got to do it before the time is up, or you don't get to escape the room, right? And this one person, so he's in there with a bunch of nerds, and he is not a nerd. He's more of an athlete, jock type, but also at the time was a fire alarm person that would do installations and things.
So all the nerds are getting them through this.
Solving everything.
He can't answer the questions or help them. So he comes up or gets into this one room.
And they're down to the very last, just the last couple of minutes, and they've got a blueprint. And he's like, I got this. I got this. This is my thing. This is my thing. And he does it.
He said, you nerds, step aside.
and he explodes, the time's up. It doesn't really explode, but he loses. They lose the game. They don't get out in time. Everybody's out $40 or whatever.
So theoretically, the room blows up.
Because he had it upside down.
He read the schematic, the blueprint upside down. While he's saying, I got this. This is my thing.
So and everybody just dead silence. Everybody just the nerds are looking at each other, and his wife's looking at him. Anyway, so when we say, I got that, I got this. This is my thing.
This is my thing.
This is Sonia's thing.
This is Sonia's thing.
What you got, Sonia?
What you got? Let's hear it.
Experience. Anybody could be out in the forest. They're here, and they don't choose to show themselves to everybody. There are people who have been doing this research. There are scientists, biologists, wildlife ecologists who have actually. So I divide the camps up into Sasquatch research this way. There are believers who research, who are not experiencers. There are non-believers who research and are non-experiencers. And then there are believers who research and are experiencers, all three. And
okay,
I
now
think she's leaving out a few too.
Yeah, what about experiencers who are knowers? What about the ones who escaped and knew that they were food? What about the missing and the presumed dead? And what about the dead? Those are categories you're not even talking about, because you want Bigfoot to be this cuddly Chewbacca nice thing, and only that if we don't hurt it, it won't hurt us kind of thing. She's making it into a god and saying that these are her, and these are her categories. This is what she came up with, because
she needs a lot more categories.
She has never known anybody who has had a face-to-face encounter. She doesn't know War Chief. She doesn't know.
They wouldn't be taking a woman out there and putting her out there for bait.
No, they wouldn't. What's his name? The guy from Alaska. Oh, okay.
Fred.
Fred. She doesn't know Fred.
He wouldn't take her out there and put her out there for bait.
Now, Todd Standing will. So she's saying these are her categories. She, through her own research, which is no research, that she's come out with these 3 and only 3 categories that
she had to watch Patty 100 times to decide she had breasts.
She had to, yeah.
And are non-experiencers. And then there are believers who research and are experiencers, all 3. And I'm one of those. I'm a believer, I research, and I'm an experiencer.
Oh, she's top of the game.
Oh, whoa, and an empath. You forgot empath.
And psychic.
Psychic.
She's top of the game.
And sock searcher.
And sock. She's at the top of everybody's game. She has surpassed everybody.
The sock whisperer, Jamie says.
The sock whisperer. She is. She is. Scott, say hello to everybody.
Jamie says, wow.
Jody saying hilarious one tonight. Where we at?
Down there. Jamie's face palm says, wow.
Oh.
War Chief says, Scott, this has been better than the Laugh-In show. Scott says the locations, these right, Scott. He says the locations these people pick to do a video of themselves cracking me up. All the foliage, the sound of the creek blocking other sounds, etc. Exactly.
And those big bridges right behind her.
Truth Walker says she just sent a screenshot.
Okay.
You keep reading, I'll check.
Check this one out.
Read it. The dirty underwear belongs to a man.
Cuban says, I've noticed she's rounding her shoulders forward. It might be an inferiority complex, or her body is feeling the predators behind her and they are moving.
This is what, right there. I hope that's bright enough that y'all can see.
Maybe back it up a little bit.
Can y'all zoom in on that? Truth Walker just, oh yeah, that shows up good over there. This is what we're trying.
I'm gonna make this a little bigger too. Yeah, look at all those things behind her. Look at them. This is the empath. This is the psychic. This is the one who her feelings are better than everybody's. She is top of her game. She's top of everybody's
extraordinaire.
Game. She's an extraordinaire. She's top of everything. While she's got these things right behind her. 2 bridges right behind her too. Shadows, traps. And she is top of her game.
Scott says he remembers Laugh-In. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Cube says, yep, she is none of those she categorized.
But she says she is. She
Scott
says she's
says,
top of the game.
Lots of opinions without any practical experience. Exactly.
Exactly.
Jamie says, Owl Woman has a message for mankind from the forest people.
Uh-oh.
Jody says, top sock searcher. That's right.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker Jay says she's all that and a bag of chips. Clearly.
She thinks she is in a
War
way.
Chief says, and the Bigfoots are saying, lady, lay down. And she's thinking, I'm not tired. The Bigfoot says, good. Oh, no, War Chief.
Oh, is that good?
Jody says, well done, Truth Walker. Yeah, thank you. Lyrical Jazzy says that's where all the lost socks go. Sonia finds them and what? Keeps them pewee. Now we know the mystery is solved.
She is okay. That's where all the socks go. So she's top of the game now. She surpassed everybody.
Thank you for the breakdown.
Experiencers.
And the hand gestures.
All three.
And I'm one of those. I'm a believer. I research, and I'm an experiencer. But not all that research this topic actually experience Sasquatch. Yes, they may find physical evidence, like you find for a gorilla. You can find tracks, although they're very few and far between.
No, they're not.
What?
No,
how many trackers believe that? You can find them all over the place. You can find them if you go look over there in that brush. You're going to find some tracks.
If you know what you're looking for.
Right behind you, where those bridges are, you're going to find a trap on both sides, and you're
both of those.
You may even find what we call a tunnel. Well, I mean, you'll find a tunnel. There's a tunnel underneath that, a little cave. God, these people.
Yes, they may find physical evidence, like you find for a gorilla. You can find tracks, although they're very few and far between.
No, they're not.
You can find tree breaks. You can find structures. You can find these things.
Driving down the road.
There are several people I know in the genre who are famous in the genre right now and who have actually never had an experience.
Yeah, we don't disagree with that.
We don't disagree. That's the first correct thing you said. I would say the majority haven't had that, but they write books on it. We was at the Bigfoot Festival, and Scott went into where the speakers were because we was outside. We didn't want to go hear them. He walks in and hears there are no Bigfoot researchers.
There's no such thing as a Bigfoot expert.
Are you a Bigfoot expert? And yet they're selling their books.
Here, buy my book about Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but buy my book. Because I don't know what I'm talking about, so buy my book, and at least you'll have a book that doesn't have the correct information. And I'll sign it for you.
They found evidences of, but once you experience Sasquatch, it's you've experienced something, and you.
Oh, that was at the Bigfoot Festival, Bigfoot Festival in Hornaby, Oklahoma. We remember you went in there and come out, and they were talking about there are no Bigfoot experts, but we do know that they were selling books, their books in there. So we found that very amusing.
They found evidences of, but once you experience Sasquatch, it's you've experienced something, and you don't remember it. And I'm stuttering right now because there's some things that I've experienced that I know why people have the experience and never go back in the woods again.
So she's stuttering because her out of context body, what does she call that? She's stuttering because she has PTSD from being afraid of what happened.
Yeah, that's PSD. When you remember something and you start stuttering, and because you remember what happened. Like when she was crying in that car, it wasn't.
Tried to say it was just an out of context
emotional response.
Yeah.
But then later she says they have fear. She goes, I cried. So she corrected, and she lied the first time. And now she's actually, you can actually see her remembering right now.
Uh-huh. And she didn't actually see anything.
And she didn't
She just felt it.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand, and I've had 2 of those experiences. So, yeah, there are people who do this research who have never had the experience, and I can tell who they are because there are things that you just can't even talk. You can't even really. You don't have words for it. You don't have a mental construct for what you have experienced, and that leaves you with a different sort of reality with this whole world after you've had that experience.
We do agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm, that is true.
You can tell who's had an experience and who hasn't just by the words and what they're saying. Their body reacts a certain way, just like us. And whenever we're talking about one of the encounters or something that we've seen out there, we're straightforward. We'll tell you exactly what we've seen. And that's the truth. We're not trying to make something up. So you can tell. We're not arguing with that.
I've had 2 experiences of what I call the fear experience. And the fear experience is something so frightening that it lives inside your body. It never leaves you. The moment I start to talk about it,
PTSD.
my throat starts to tense up. I mean, I guess that would be the definition of what a traumatic experience is, but it's still.
Yeah, that's the definition of what a traumatic experience.
Trying to like belittle it or not take it seriously.
Instead of just saying
what it is.
I'm having PTSD from this experience. That's why I'm feeling this way. And she's trying
to have to think of it scientifically
and belittle it and make it smaller whenever you yeah, because other people are going to experience that. If you tell them to go out there and they're going to have a good time, once they have a encounter or an experience, if that was me and I didn't, you told me it was safe to go out there and gift them and something happened,
you come back and
I would come back and find that person and say, here's that apple.
Where you want me to put it?
Or you're going to eat this apple right now. I'm going to put it in your mouth.
My throat starts to tense up. I mean, I guess that would be the definition of what a traumatic experience is, but it's still not the same. It's distinct. Like, I've been in a car accident before where, yes, I can remember everything that happened. It moved in slow motion. I know everything, but I don't feel it. When I talk about the Sasquatch experience that was fearful, my throat starts to go in and my chest starts to hurt and I get a little short of breath. So it lives with you far beyond the experience. It's different than a traumatic experience, and I can't really explain it, why it stays with you. But I'll let you know one of my fear experiences. It actually happened with Dr. Bendernagel and Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum and Todd Standing. And
there's the names.
There's the names. The ones who used her as bait. The ones who took her out there.
While they were all armed.
To have an experience by using the female again as bait.
You know, one of my fear experiences, it actually happened with Dr. Bendernagel and Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum and Todd Standing.
Let's catch up because it looks like Jazzy's got to go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's where all the lost socks go.
Let's see. Scott says, finding clothes out in the woods freaks me out too often, Scott. You're right. And shoes.
Right. And Jody's laughing at
Jazzy
getting the socks.
War Chief says, and she is still not a knower. Imagine that.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever seen one.
Jamie says, Bigfoot has a bottle of mustard. Lay down, owl woman. Let me taste you, right?
Exactly.
Scott says, clothes don't just appear in the forest. Where are the owners of these clothes?
Yeah.
Scott says, yes, true. JR says, now I know why none of my socks match.
Sonya's been around.
Lyrical Jazzy says, oh, wow, when you experience something, you experience it. I never noticed that. Me neither. Me neither. Sonia says, I gotta hit the hay. Don't steal my socks while I'm sleeping. Sonia, leave them on. Lyrical Jazzy says, I gotta hit the hay. Don't steal my socks while I'm sleeping, Sonia. You better keep them socks on your feet, Lyrical Jazzy. It's really Nico's socks she wants.
Yours is safe. She wants Nico's.
Jody says, Sonia. Everybody saying goodnight, Jazzy. Good night, movie star Jazzy, says Jody.
Movie star Jazzy. She said, oh.
Scott says, Cubinator, finding kids' clothes is the worst. We have 600,000 missing children in the U.S. You are 100% correct.
And people just won't say it's Bigfoot.
Nope.
Like this woman, she wouldn't say it is. She'd say it's on, and you'll hear later.
Oh, no, she thinks these are little G gods.
Yeah.
But never mentions an actual big G god. Cube says, a lot of children disappear here too, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the Spanish version of that.
Yeah. Good night, Jazzy.
Good night, Jazzy. But you're gonna miss a little bit.
She'll
and
she'll
Todd
catch up.
Standing's
Okay.
brother-in-law. We were at a place called Nordegg. We had been hiking in this valley not far from the camp, and with the intention that there had been some activity in that valley, with the intention of going to that area in the daytime where we felt more safe, and then of course sitting in our campsite hoping that maybe in the night we would have activity.
Valleys and ravines are ambush spots.
And they're going right to it.
So they
They're
went
going
down
right
there
to
and
a
now they're
trap
back at the campfire.
with a campfire. Now, what's a campfire? Does a deer build a campfire? Does a raccoon build a campfire? Man builds a fire. Fire means food to predators. Coyotes, wolves, everything will go towards that fire because they know man is going to cook steak and bacon.
Mm-hmm.
They know man is going to leave cans around. There's going to be food there. And if they have the opportunity, they will take food from the grill or an ice chest
Or little children.
or that person themselves. Fire means food out there. That smoke going up in the air, everybody can see. The predators can see it.
So they've all gone down in the high activity valley,
High activity valley,
spread her smell all over, and now gone back up to the camp
and made a big roaring fire for everybody to see.
and staring through and get
In
blind.
the evening. Well, around 9 o'clock in the middle of a new moon, it was so black outside.
Mm-hmm.
We were 8 miles. For those of you who have never been out to the site in Nordegg, there are several people who have been out there, but you're out in the middle of nowhere.
So this is a known Bigfoot activity site. Because she said many people have been out there, so it's known to have predators.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's probably one of his regular areas.
Yeah, predators and gifters and women taken out there for bait.
We were 8 miles. For those of you who have never been out to the site in Nordegg, there are several people who have been out there, but you're out in the middle of nowhere. And I think it was 8 miles from a cell signal. We're so far out in the middle of nowhere.
That's bad too, having no cell service.
Signal.
They have this site out there with no cell service.
She's relying on them for her transportation.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
And weapons.
And weapons.
About 9 o'clock, we hear this call from this valley.
That's a normal time around dusk or twilight. These things are already moving in on them because it's getting dark. And the darker it is, the closer they come.
And immediately it stops all of us. We're sitting around the campfire. Dr. Bendernagel and Dr. Meldrum, they perk up and they start doing what ecologists and biologists and anthropologists do. They're naming every creature in the forest that it could possibly be. Todd, to my left, of course, he's a Bigfoot person, so he says right away, that's Sasquatch. That's Sasquatch. And I'm like, I don't know, strange call.
I don't know, strange call. We're in a Bigfoot research area.
That's what I came here for.
With Todd and Dr. Meldrum and Vanderbeegel and
Vandernagel. Vanderbeegel.
Vanderbeegel. And so these people are not going, they're together for a reason. They're not just out there camping and wanting to eat a cheeseburger.
And the Bigfoots already know that they come and do this all the time. Yeah. This is a regular thing.
So they're there for a reason. You're the only one, Sonia, who don't know what's going on. They know exactly what's going to happen, and they're going to ask you to go pee in the woods or take an apple out in the woods in the dark like they've done before with other people.
So he says right away, that's Sasquatch. That's
bait.
Sasquatch. And I'm like, I don't know, strange call. Have no idea what that was. And then all of a sudden, about 100 feet from where I'm sitting, from the campfire across the little campsite into the tree line, we hear a return call.
She was telling the truth there.
It wasn't as loud. And Todd looked at.
So there's two. There's one 100 yards out, and there's one a little further out.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already surrounded you, Sonia.
Because there's more than two, but for sure the two you may think is only one.
Those are just the ones making noise. There's other ones out there. You're surrounded, Sonia, and you're in a dangerous area.
Ian said, "Can you confront?"
What?
Todd looked at her and said, "Can you confront?
Can
Will
you
you go out there and be bait while
Can
we
you go
sit
out
here with
there?
our guns? While we men sit here at the campfire, can you go out there and be bait,
Can you
Sonia?"
go out there in the dark, Sonia? Can you take your
you know,
female body out there?
many years ago, I watched Todd Standing, and I thought he seemed like a nice person. Now I can't stand it. I can't stand the thought of what he does with people.
And more reports of women going
criminal.
out there with him doing the urination, the gifting.
So she's getting PTSD. I don't know how long ago it was, but it has physically affected her all this time later.
Yep, sure is.
100 feet for.
And he says, "Can you confront?" He's talking to her, not to Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Speldrum and
No, not the
Meldrum.
women, because the women are the most vulnerable. Yeah.
He says, "Can you, Sonia?"
Where I'm sitting, from the campfire across the little campsite
Well, he'll put his own girlfriend
into the
out there.
tree line.
Yeah.
We hear a return call. It was it wasn't as loud. And Todd looked at me and said, "Can you confront?" Now it's the middle of dark woods, the middle of night, and on a new moon. But the reality is I'm sitting there with 5 people.
So
there are guns available.
cameraman.
I'm not far from the fire. It's not far from the campsite. I was a little apprehensive, but the reality was,
Put pressure on you.
is I really wasn't afraid, more than I was just like, okay.
You're lying, Sonia.
You're lying to yourself.
You're lying right now.
You were under peer pressure.
Under peer pressure. And
guns available, but they weren't on you.
You weren't carrying them. You're scared right now because you're getting wood knocks and whoops. You're in a known area. You're with some of these scumbag big name researchers who are using you to go out.
And likely you paid them.
And I guarantee you she paid them to be with them in that area.
And to be able to say you went out with them, and that part's on you. That's your ego.
And your body is apprehensive. You may not be, but your body is saying,
we already got scared before.
This is not a good idea.
You already knew that fear.
And your body is telling you again, this is not a good idea, Sonia. Let's stay seated. Let's stay with the weapons.
It made you cry last time.
But the reality is I really wasn't afraid, more than I was just like, okay. Knowing in the back of my mind that had it been a bear or a wolf, I had backup right behind me. So whatever. So I walked out.
Why not on you?
And those guys stayed back.
Yep. Oh, it makes me sick.
They let you go up there. These things are dangerous, and if they ever snatched you up, Todd and them are not going to find you.
They ain't even going to try.
They're not even going to try. They're not going to be like, I ain't going out there. Not with this weapon. Not at nighttime. Not without a full, and you're not going to, and those other researchers, they're not trained to go out there. They're not going to go after you.
They wouldn't. They know enough by now not to.
They know enough, not to go out there. They've seen the 10, 15 footers, the 20 footers. They know they're no match for them. They don't even know where to shoot these things or how to even maneuver out there in the dark. Sonia, don't go out there. Your body's saying don't go out there. But your peer pressure is going to get you in trouble.
That had it been a bear or a wolf,
it'd still be a bad idea.
I had backup right behind me. So whatever. So I walked out to the tree line, and I walked probably 10 feet into the tree line, and I started talking. I was like, hello?
Hello. I want to
Making a
make
connection
love
with the demon.
I'm here to make love. I've got steaks. I've got I'm looking for a boyfriend.
That's the way, you know, that's the way they're seeing this.
They're seeing her as
The
an
predators
offering,
would see this
a
like that,
gift. She's a
right? It's
gift.
not what she's saying, that's what they're thinking.
And then Todd and them are gifting her to them. They brought, it's like, here, I'm going to take this apple out there. We brought her for you.
Yep.
We brought her for you to eat. We brought her for you to mate with. Here is your offering. Here is your gift. And Sonia doesn't know enough because she hasn't been around the people with the
she's had
right
no
information.
practical, like Scott said, no practical experience.
No practical experience at all.
She's
Like
just
Scott
listening
said.
to these fools,
And she's listening
these
to them.
experts.
These experts who are using her just for documentation. They could care less about her, or if she disappears, that's still not on them because nobody knows.
And I walked probably 10 feet into the tree line and I started talking. I was like, hello? Is somebody there? And this is, again, this out of context emotion, out of context reaction.
Body's doing it. It's not out of context.
She said, this is one of those other times when it's out of context.
I'm going to ignore what my body's telling me.
The body already said,
danger.
don't go out there. This is not a good idea.
The memories told you that?
Your body is trying to save your life.
And you're betraying it.
You're going against what your body is saying. Your body saying, I don't want to go out there. There are predators 15, 20 foot tall waiting for us. You can't see them. Your spiritual body knows they're there. That feeling.
It's also telling you don't go.
That on one page 114 in the Predator book, the body's natural warning signs is telling her, do not do this, Sonia. Stay over here, Sonia. Do not go out there, Sonia.
But the part of her brain that wants to be smarter than everyone and to impress these people.
And she's saying it's an out of context feeling.
Yeah.
That is that her body's reacting and saying to another thing, but she's saying that's not the reason. It wasn't because I was scared. It wasn't because my body was frightened. It's because
if you get a stomach ache, it's not out of context.
And she's saying
something happened to cause it.
Yeah. And she's saying I was feeling that way because I ate a sandwich before or something. It's something or they were scared of me. That's why I was feeling the context of what they were feeling. So her out of context thing, like she said last time, that what she's saying is they were scared of me. But the body, that's why she was feeling that way. But the body's saying, I will run and leave you here, Sonia.
Right.
I will leave you, Sonia.
I can do it.
I will do it. I will get up and leave you, son. Your own body is saying that.
And this is, again, this out of context emotion, out of context reaction. All of a sudden, I look down. Now, I promise you when I say this, up here was not fearful. It was a little bit on guard.
A little stupid.
Little ignorant.
Little naive.
Little
dismissive.
A lot of careless.
Delusional.
Forgetful.
Stubborn. Have we covered it?
No, there's more. So she's saying that.
But when I looked down and I saw my knees
knocking,
she's saying the top of her body is a little apprehensive, but her bottom of her body, her entire body, is saying something else. Like let's run. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Adrenaline.
And this is again this out of context emotion, out of context reaction. All of a sudden, I look down. Now, I promise you when I say this, up here was not fearful.
She's lying.
Or completely disconnected from herself.
Or she's disconnected, not just, to her entire body, because her body's just the thought of going out there is saying, this is not a good idea. Let's stay in this chair right here where the weapons are. And yet she goes against that and walks
So she can
out
come back with a good story.
into the forest where these things have moved in next
Been
to
waiting
her.
all day.
As soon as it got dark, they moved in closer and closer, and they will be just outside that firelight. And you're blinded by that fire going out into the woods, blinded. You can't see a foot in front of you, much less your hand in front of your face,
New moon, extra dark.
because you're watching that fire and then going out into, that's called not taking your night blindness or not blindness.
Never sit and stare at the fire. Turn and face the woods. Put your back to the fire.
It was a little bit on guard,
A little
but when
bit.
I looked down and I saw my knees, they were shaking. And I had to start coaching myself. I looked down at my knees. I'm like, whoa, you're okay. You're fine. Nothing's happened. You're okay. You can do this.
You're lying to your body.
The body is shaken.
It's like telling a little kid, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's okay.
And if your
But lying
legs,
to 'em.
yeah, and if both your knees are shaking, your entire body is shaken. It ripples. You can't move without something else moving on your body. So your entire body was shaking.
That adrenaline coursing through you
She had to try to talk to her body,
to calm down.
not to herself, but to her body, and say, we're okay. Nothing's happened. It's okay. But the body is saying, you can't see what's in front of you, but we can. Your spiritual body is saying, there's a predator or predators right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hungry, and we need to get out of here. I will leave you here, Sonia.
And really, it's like she's disassociated from.
She is disassociated.
Almost in
from her body.
Shock almost.
And she is in that shock.
Or like when you're in a traumatic thing, you do, some people like
you freeze.
I've been up and to the right.
Yeah.
Before from it as a traumatic response, so that you're like watching from a distance what your body is doing.
This woman's body is terrified. It
With
doesn't want to be there. It's shaking. And she's trying to calm it down.
This is the most genuine she's been through the whole thing. Like, even though she's saying that she wasn't afraid from up, in her mind, to her, she wasn't. She can't even process that she was.
And if your body starts shaking, how many people will stand there wherever they're at if that body starts shaking? It's not zero below. She just left the fire and she is shaking.
Yeah.
The body is shaking.
She ain't but 10 feet into the woodline and hasn't even seen anything.
And hasn't even seen it. But that spiritual body who protects that physical body knows it's there. Let's catch up a little bit. Let's start with this one.
War Chief says, shame on Todd, no standing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no standing, not with any of us.
Jamie says, one researcher used a shofar, a Jewish religious horn. Can you believe that?
Yeah, we remember that guy.
Scott says, poor thing, she needs truth spoken over. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
War Chief says she probably had to sign an NDA as well. You're right.
Yeah, probably.
Because there is a lot in this. That's a good point. There's a lot in here that she says, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, or there's a couple places where she skips a lot.
Yeah.
Cube says prayers for her in Psalm 91. Only backup she needs is God and a good dose of common sense.
She doesn't have God. She doesn't.
No, she
ever call on God.
And you'll see. We won't be able to go through the whole thing tonight, but y'all can, and you'll hear how she doesn't have a close relationship with God.
She would rather give the little G guys more credit.
Yeah, these things.
And we won't get to that part, but she says that we're the offspring of Bigfoots, just like everyone else who has that mind speak and things going on.
Yeah. Elastic says the backup needs to be an IR camera constantly running and scanning, and a firearm. preferably a rifle. PG 114, the Predator, page 114, the Predator Bigfoot book. Thank you.
Thank you, Elastic Machinery.
Jody says, "Ha, you're right, War Chief. I bet she did. Yikes."
Yeah.
Cube says, "A rebuking is the best form of talking to them. Disgusting. She trusts Todd Standing over her safety
Oh, yeah.
and life."
And,
Elastic says, "I wonder how many people Todd has lost on purpose for his own documentation that no one knows about. That's quite a question, and I'm not claiming it's true, but it could easily be true."
And we talked about that too, that nobody would even know. And rebuking. Shadow Tracker J agrees.
War Chief says, "If you can't trust your own body's feelings, you shouldn't be out looking for Bigfoot." Amen.
Exactly.
Cube says, "I think you're right, Elastic. No one would know, but he would, and he doesn't care."
Yep.
Scott says, "My heart breaks for her. She is disillusioned for sure."
She sure is.
Cube says, "Too stupid to recognize her own fear, but simply disconnected to her emotions."
Yeah, her body's screaming at her.
War Chief says, "Sonia's famous last words, but I wasn't afraid," right?
Exactly.
Cube says, "Temporary Bigfoot communicator, like the same temporary Yowie researchers we have here. Sad."
This is that War
Elastic
Chief.
says, "Perfect point at War Chief. You can't be going out doing anything needing night concentration and appropriate response speed if your mind and body are incongruent. You will be a victim." She would freeze.
Yeah, because
Yes.
her body will freeze, and she won't
be able to save herself.
She won't be able to run or anything.
Cube says, "Shadows behind her have changed significantly since this interview began."
And if that body freezes up, these things are just going to walk up to her and pick her up.
Jody Albrecht says, 100% War Chief. High sensitivity will save your life.
It sure will.
And yeah, not saying everything is, well, that's out of context. That's out of context. Elastic says she needs the book. We agree.
Sure does.
Jamie says, "You can't figure these monsters out on your own. Someone has to tell you who knows the truth, the answers."
Yeah.
Cube says she does, and she needs to read it properly and distance herself from that Todd. Yeah. And all three of those. Well, I think Bendernagel has passed on, but the other guy too, he knows what she was doing. No respect. Let's see. War Chief says, "But she said that she is an empath, the biggest lie."
Yeah,
right?
the empath, she should have, her body should have.
She doesn't listen to her feelings, if that's the case. I thought empaths listen to their feelings.
Yeah.
Cube says, "Yes, War Chief, it's sickening and saddening."
Yeah.
Jim is here. Hey, Jim. He says, "Don't get me started with Todd Standing."
Yeah, I know.
Elastic says, "Right, she's an empath, though." Scott says, "She is completely broken. It's obvious."
Yeah, you can see that.
Mary Ellis, let's see. Scott says, "A victim in waiting." Yep.
Sure is. And
Elastic says, 2 weeks ago, some people were improperly using a shofar at the land between the lakes. Claims of creatures being in the trees 20 feet from them, showing they refused to shine a light on them. Wow.
Wow. So this woman right now is at the tree line, shaking like a leaf, trying to get her body.
Telling her body it's a liar.
Yeah, telling her body that you don't know what you're talking about. You're shaking for no reason.
It's okay.
We're okay. There's nothing here.
And the men are back at the campfire with the weapons, wondering, let's see how this pans out.
Let's see what happens here. And that's a good point.
Good thing I got cash.
That's it's a good thing. It may be true with Elastic Machinery. This may have happened before.
If it is, may God reveal it.
I had to start coaching myself. I looked down at my knees. I'm like, whoa, you're okay. You're fine. Nothing's happened. You're okay. You can do this. And so then I continued to talk. I got over that, continued to talk, and nothing happened. So
nothing happened. Your body's shaking like a leaf.
Connection made.
She's made a connection somewhere. And she's still saying, hello, hello. And mind speak does happen.
Some things is just the good Lord protecting us from our own stupidity.
And a Bigfoot or a predator will put in her head, I'm here to protect you. Don't worry about little old me. I'm your protector. I'm not here to harm you.
I like your tent.
I like your tent. I'll see you in a
while. I
little
already
while.
sniffed it out earlier when y'all were in the valley.
Yep. I already knew you was here. I knew you was here for me.
Like, okay, you gave it a shot. You're coming back in. So I came back in and I sat down. And right away, when I sat down,
Woo!
I noticed
That was the
So
body.
she didn't notice. She didn't go further though, even though she's telling her she got 10 feet in. She says, it's okay. It's okay. And then did she say she pretty much turned around and went back?
Yeah, 10 foot, far enough.
So even though she's telling her body it's okay, her
It's okay.
body
We're not
still
going any
took her
further.
back to the campfire.
Yeah, we ain't going out there.
Good,
that's as far as we're
good. We're
going.
glad.
And that's the body saying, and the body was saying, I ain't going further. This is as far as I'm going. No, no. And I can see hear the body saying, no, Sonia, no, let's go back. And your body is under so much stress right now.
Mm-hmm.
For it to be shaking like that,
takes a lot out of it.
That's a lot of energy
It's
being
feeding,
spent.
it fed on her energy already.
Yeah, feeding on her energy.
Sucking that energy right out of her.
thought you're coming back in. So I came back in and I sat down. And right away, when I sat down, I noticed I was exhausted.
Imagine that.
Exhausted. And Dr. Bendernagel turned and he looked at me and he said, you know, Sonia, because that was pretty brave. Are you okay? And I said,
This ain't the first time Bendernagel's probably
That's
seen
pretty
this.
brave. Pretty brave. Why was it brave?
And why did he ask you if you're okay?
Yeah, why was it brave?
And why
Freaking
was it
scientists.
Brave? Why would you say it's pretty brave?
Why wouldn't she be okay? You sent her out there, huh?
Yeah, you watched her go out there. Why do you think that was brave?
Dr. Bendernagel turned and he looked at me and he said, you know, Sonia, because that was pretty brave. Are you okay? And I said, I am, but I'm really oddly tired. I'm just kind of exhausted. So immediately, Dr. Meldrum asked Todd for the night vision goggles, and
it was her first time. It wasn't theirs.
Oh yeah, it wasn't their first time.
Bigfoot's.
And so they know what's going on. You're the bait. You're the one that don't know, Sonia.
And you're a nobody that they don't care about.
And you're a nobody.
And we don't mean that in a hateful way. We're
to them, you're a nobody. You're someone who paid from California that nobody really, really knows.
Dr. Meldrum asked Todd for the night vision goggles, and he got up and he started scanning the area. And not far from where we were, he said he saw a figure run from that direction where it had just been.
Imagine
that would be what he would call what looked like a Sasquatch.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that.
He knew to look. He knew what was out there. He knew your reaction. He'd seen it before.
He knew that Bigfoot would come up to that female.
Sure.
He knew you was the gift. He knew you was the offering. You just didn't know what you was getting yourself into. They used you. You're the bait. That's all you are, is bait.
You can do it again?
You gonna do it again, Sonia? You better not. Your body will probably have a heart attack this time, because it's gonna say, no, you've went far enough.
If I don't stop you.
I got a way to stop you. That's a heart attack. That's causes your breathing. That's I'll twist my ankle. I'll fall. I'll do something to stop us.
He said he saw a figure run from that direction where it had just been. That would be what he would call what looked like a Sasquatch running away. He saw it with the night vision goggles. Now I'm sitting there and I'm starting to feel it as I'm talking about it. I was just exhausted. Everything just caved. I just had no energy in me and I wasn't afraid. And then I just went to bed and I got in my sleeping bag. And then about 2 a.m, I wanted to get up to go to the bathroom and it hit.
She doesn't recognize fear.
She doesn't recognize her fear.
Yeah.
And the emotion.
Like her mind doesn't recognize fear when her body is feeling fear.
This is a woman that should not go out in these situations ever again.
Mm-mm.
So right now she's saying that it's about 2 o'clock and she wants to go to the bathroom. Now, what would the body do knowing it's been scared and terrified? What is the body going to do? Because she's talking about going out and urinating where these Bigfoots are, and they're already close to these tents.
They've already made a connection with her. They've already drained energy from her.
They know what tent she's in.
She's going to be weak.
And they know eventually, especially with these people who don't know what's going on, they may come out and use the bathroom all alone.
She has no weapon. The weapons are all with the men, all in their tents.
Well,
they're sleeping. Nobody will be
I
standing
doubt
guard.
they're sleeping. I bet they got that. They're hugging their weapons right now.
Oh, wasn't sure what you were going to say. They were hugging.
Oh,
hugging their weapons and sleeping.
I don't even think they're sleeping. I think they're all awake.
Could be.
Scared too, because they are in a dangerous situation. Now these predators know what tent she's in. They've seen her go in.
Yeah.
They've been watching her.
They can smell her.
Now her body, she has a feeling to use the bathroom. When nobody else is out there, she will be alone.
And we already know that Todd Standing encourages the women to drink a lot so that they have to go to the restroom more.
Yep. So Todd's probably got the waiting for her to get up and go out. This woman doesn't know she's bait, and her body, who has already been petrified in 2 different other situations. I mean, the first
she got
one,
the original PTSD.
Yeah, and now with this one that just happened,
whole new bunch added to it
from her body shaking, and that's with all these other people out there. Well, 4 other people, and they have weapons watching her. But now the body's saying, "There's nobody out there, Sonia. It will just be us and the Bigfoots. It will be us and those predators." That body is going to stop you, Sonia. It's going to twist its ankle. It's going to do something to stop you. It does not, your body does not want to go out there. You said you had a feeling to go use the bathroom, but your body has already knows there's no help out there. We're going to be alone.
Bad idea.
It's a bad idea, Sonia.
And I just went to bed and I got in my sleeping bag. And then about 2 in the morning, I wanted to get up to go to the bathroom, and it hit. And it was this paralyzing bodily fear. And I'm naturally claustrophobic a bit, and I don't really put my head under the covers. And I literally just forgot about having to go to the bathroom. I pulled the sleeping bag up, I crawled in a fetal ball, and I stayed there until sun got up. Sun came up.
Your body saved your life.
Your body stiffened up and said, "No, Sonia, this is the way I'm going to stop us from getting out there and getting into the hands or the paws of these predators." There are predators out there, Sonia, that you have no idea. Yeah. I don't want to get eaten. I don't want to get torn apart, Sonia. The only way I can stop you
is to paralyze you.
Is to paralyze you. And curl up and get as small as we can possibly get.
To disappear.
Just like a puppy or a dog, they will go and try to hide underneath the bed, or a child will find a place where they can hide and get down as far and deep as they can to try to hide.
Body said, "I'm going to do the thinking for us because you're not thinking."
You're not thinking. You're not protecting us. I'm going to freeze us up. And her body locked up. It went into the fetal position. It pulled a blanket over her head.
And thank God it did.
And thank God it did. And stayed there until there was voices outside.
So
and
at
daylight.
Least 4 hours.
So she's locked up. And that body's not leaving. That body is petrified and so frightened that it's going to stay. And if you stay in that position, any position, for a long time, you won't just cramp, but you're gonna feel that the next day.
She forgot all about having to use the restroom.
And she forgot all about having to use the restroom. Her body is so petrified, it took charge. The only way to protect her from herself was to freeze up and to lock up. That's the only way it would be stopped, or she would be stopped from going right into the hands and the mouths of these predators that are
And-
right outside their tent.
And the whole time she would be telling herself, this is not fear. I'm not afraid.
And I'm surprised she doesn't say something like there was tracks all around the tent
Right.
in the camp while we were sleeping, because that happens. I know some trackers that thought
Oh,
nothing was
yeah.
going to
They'll push
happen.
down on the top of the tent,
Yeah.
try to pull the whole tent.
And
Yeah.
sometimes they'll take the whole tent.
Mhm.
They had trackers tell us that they stayed up till 4 a.m, went to sleep, woke up, and there was tracks in the campsite.
Yeah.
They wait, they watch, they know when
They
everybody's
know how
asleep.
to unzip a tent, but they also know the other men there have weapons.
Yep, but they know she doesn't.
Yeah.
They went to her because she's the prize. I'm gonna back this up a little bit.
And she didn't even get out of the tent before she had that fear.
No,
Just the thought of doing it.
just the thought of it. And the body said, "No, Sonia, no. This is the only thing I can do is freeze up and lock up on you."
About 2 in the morning, I wanted to get up to go to the bathroom, and it hit.
Yeah.
And it was this paralyzing bodily fear. And I'm naturally claustrophobic a bit, and I don't really put my head under the covers. And I literally just forgot about having to go to the bathroom. I pulled the sleeping bag up, I crawled in a fetal ball, and I stayed there until sun came up. In the morning, Dr. Meldrum and I had a flight out. We had to leave. And I got up, and the first thing I noticed is that the tops of my thighs were on fire with lactic acid, like I had done about, I don't know.
It's getting kind of late. We're gonna catch up on comments, and we'll summarize what she's.
And then y'all can just finish listening to the rest of it.
Yeah, then if you want to watch that also, but we'll summarize what Jamie said.
I think.
I don't know what Jamie's. Oh, here it is.
Jamie says Todd Standing wanted to pass a law in Canada to protect the species. He don't know what the heck he's dealing with, right?
Yeah, and we'll summarize a little bit about that in just a little bit too.
Jody says, War Chief says, exactly, Jamie.
Yeah.
Jody says, yes, he did try, Jamie. Elastic says, these scientists are groomers. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott says, big ugly. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jody says, and now I find out he uses people as bait. Yep.
He sure does.
Even his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
Jamie Elena says, these researchers got 20 to 35 years out there. Yeah, they've had many sightings, but they still don't know what they're dealing with.
Exactly.
Cube says, how does Sonia not know that she's being used as bait? Clearly, she has no real purpose in her life and nothing real to fight for in her life. Really bizarre.
It sure is.
Jody says, I didn't know until Jerry and Ella. War Chief says, after all her studying, she didn't know that a Bigfoot could drain all your energy. I know it for a fact, and I also know true PTSD. That's right.
Yeah, sure does.
Cube says, Jerry and Ella clarified so much for me. I knew these creatures were bad, evil, and took people out. Tracker training sharpened my senses and opened my mouth to warn people. So grateful to know. Good, Cube. Cube says, yes, you do, War Chief. Lucky for all of us, you survived and became more than you were then.
Yeah, and shared that information with us.
Scott says, go home and stay out of the woods. That's right.
Yes. Stay out
Jamie
of the woods.
says, just with what I've learned so far from Jerry, I know they are dangerous. Their tactics. Good. Jody says, I didn't know about these things properly until the course and the community here. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Cube says her body took over her threshold and locked her up. That's right.
It sure did. It's
Well put. Elastic says, my body had a terrified, bodily, horrifying, non-contextual fear. Right?
Yeah. Oops.
Cube's laughing at that comment. Mariella's leaving. Good night, Mariella.
Good night, Mariella.
CT says, excellent topic. Bernard says, great review. Great review show, enjoying it. Good, Bernard. Go back and listen to the The beginning too is a lot more fun than it got, pretty heavy here at the end. Elastic says non-contextual paralyzing fear. Wow, this lady, if only she knew the truth. If ever she learns the truth or runs into this channel or read the book, she will look back at her experience with congruent, and I think there's more coming, fear. Yeah, yeah. So what happens after this is when she goes, oh, we gotta turn the light on.
At least this one will work. This
Okay.
one should work.
We'll just summarize real quick what happens after this, and then when you'll get a chance, you can go back and listen yourselves. She goes back home, and she ends up having to go to the physician because she just can't. She's like, did I have a heart attack? I just can't. My body's not acting right. I'm absolutely drained. I'm tired. I don't feel right. And her doctor told her that, how did she put it? Basically PTSD.
Yeah,
that it's fear related. You had
Sonya's saying, did I have a heart attack? And the doctor said, I think you were just pretty much almost scared to death.
Yeah.
You was, your body was so scared that.
And she never even saw it. So imagine that. She got completely drained and all that energy sucked out of her. And but she's still, even with knowing all that, she's still kind of making light of it all, making a joke out of it all, still disconnected from it all, and going out and speaking at conferences to people. So,
and she goes
teaching other people,
teaching everybody the wrong things.
Yeah.
She actually
has tell them those are non-contextual.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with me being so scared. Got paralyzed.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, that's just something that happens, But
yeah, because she's still calling it that.
And she has another experience after this with another researcher where something comes up behind her and then leaves. But her body froze then too. And her only words were, he was like, the other researcher said, you're doing very good, because a lot of people would have just took off running. And she said, you can't outrun that.
Was that Meldrum too?
No, it was Mike Patterson.
Oh, somebody named Mike Patterson. Southern Ontario, maybe?
But that's also her body saying, we can't outrun that. Ain't no point in running. Why are you got us out here? The only thing we can do is be food. We can't outrun it. Why do you have us out here again? Her body is just, if she listened to her body, she would be safe, but she's
probably shaving years off her life every time she does this. And if it doesn't just end tragically one evening.
And in that next encounter, she also says it scared the daylights out of her. And that's why she also froze up.
And she also thinks they're only nocturnal. She doesn't know that they also attack in the daytime.
Well, she also says she's got a picture of them in the translucent state moving in the trees, saying that they're only nocturnal.
Oh, yeah, and then there's another part in here too where she's journaling and writing to these demons, and they're speaking to her now, and saying
they have a
basically,
whole, yeah. They don't, like, we all know it can mimic a human voice and small words, but she's saying they're talking to her like, we're talking about going to the ball game on Tuesday. They're saying full sentences.
She says, why don't you show yourself to me? Why don't you show yourself to us? And we weren't sure which way she meant it, as all of humanity. And they said, they go from
well, we used to watch you ride horses.
Or they said, when we saw you ride Sister Mare and Brother Horse to death, we knew that you were disconnected from the earth. And that, so she's all off into the.
So she's lying about that too.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch that part, because and then she talks about the little g gods, which are the fallen angels, which it's a mess. She said that. So pray for this young
man. The gods were getting mad because people like Gilgamesh went to the forest and killed one of these things, and that the gods were mad.
That was a bad thing to do.
And that's a bad thing to do. And she said that they're a what's the kind of species?
They're superior to us.
Endangered species.
Yeah,
that they
To her,
need
they're superior
protection.
to us, and she said, "And the
That's
earth,
Todd
the
Standing.
earth feeds everything except us. We're greedy."
Yeah, she says that the earth doesn't feed us. And we
So,
say the earth is our umbilical cord. And in the Bible says these vegetables and things are your meat. These are for you to flourish, to have longevity.
yes, and stop putting down God's creation too. These things aren't God's creation. These things are
She said
abominations that should not have
we're an
been.
offspring of the Bigfoot, just like the
Yeah,
other.
she's got everything
Bigfoot.
out of order. Everything's out of order.
And in one part, she said that you can't kill it, you can't trap
Yeah,
it,
some
and you
trucker
can't
told her
track it.
that.
Some other, I think it's that Mike Patterson who said that.
Was that the one that said it?
And we're going, yeah, you can
It
kill
can
them,
be
you
killed.
can
It can
track
be
them.
tracked.
But and also she talks about how fast it goes, but also in the Predator book we talk about them being called blurs because of their speed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when from a setting point, just taking off, they can take off that fast. If they grab soil, they're coming.
If it doesn't, the Bible tells us how David killed Goliath. So now you know how you can kill one of those.
And
If
all
need be.
with all this, she also says after saying how
Or
good
where.
they are and things, then she finally says, "Well, I don't know what they are, but maybe they're this and maybe they're that."
Yeah.
She the rest of
She's
it,
all over the place.
she's
And
all over the
she
place.
is prey for people and for Bigfoots.
Yeah,
And for the
because
predators.
after the encounter with this one, she goes into the hot tub with one of somebody.
She didn't say who.
She doesn't say which one, but she's in the hot tub with drinking wine with somebody from there. Because not unless she just picks someone up at the bar in the hotel lobby.
Like, we don't know, but she's a sitting duck.
Yeah, she is. It seems like a lot of people are using her.
And she's going to be misleading other people through her own arrogance or desire to be liked or desire to be, I don't know, to be an authority. But she's not paying attention to the truth. So anyway,
So if you want to watch the rest of that, you can. It's just she doesn't. She tries to sound intelligent, but she has
tries real hard.
nothing factual that she can bring to the table. She's regurgitating other things and jumping all over the place. But she does talk about the other encounter where she was scared to death there also. So she's never had a good encounter, but she's gonna tell everyone else, yeah. She's gonna that they're great for the part that got
friends,
me,
the guardians.
that made me upset is that she said, well, the Indians say that they're
Yeah.
forest people and they're good people, and that the Indians called them the master of the woods. And that's why we
Yeah.
linked. That's why we linked in the description below if y'all want to watch that, what the Indians say.
Yeah.
What we say is these things are predators. And we're getting
Always have been, always will be.
And they're so long we've been trying to track down these Indians,
These elusive Indians.
these elusive Indians that people say that we say. Because when they say that, we want to say, what Indians are you
Which
talking
Indian?
about? Who are they? Where are they at? We'll talk to them. We'll set them straight.
And they always backpedal.
Yeah, backpedal. Well, that's just what I heard. Okay, well, quit saying it.
Right.
Find out for yourself if we say that. We don't say that. And in that link below, in the description, you'll see what the Indians say, because there's a 3-part series. It's probably about 2 or 3 hours long on each of them, where we talk to nations of different areas, and we all at the end say they're all predators. These things are predators.
Every single vote.
Every single vote. Not one tribe said that these things are our forest buddies, friends, masters of the universe.
All said predator, even if they came in unsure by the time the talks were over.
Yeah, listening to the other tribes,
Complete
listening
agreement.
to other people.
Predator.
So let's catch up on the stream links, and then we will catch everyone. Oh, we got the first day of the tracker trainer course tomorrow for the Thunder Trackers, and then Saturday night we have Tim Morefoot from the Historical Bigfoot Society or Sasquatch Society. He'll be on Saturday night. You're not going to want to miss that either. He has a lot of information.
We'll have a good conversation.
And a good conversation with that.
We'll catch up on comments real quick, and then we'll say a prayer and let everyone go. Cube says, yes, you do, War Chief. Luckily for all of us, you survived and became more than you were then. Did we read that yet? I think we read those.
Okay. This is where her body locked up.
Yeah, we read that.
Oh, okay.
Read
Oh
that.
yeah, Mariella's leaving. Bernard's in.
Yeah.
Okay, fear. I think that's where we ended.
Okay. War Chief says, I think this old body needs some good old-fashioned rest. Good night, War Chief. Sure was good to see you.
Yeah, and we're about to also do that same thing.
Jamie says, I still got to learn about being zapped and the mind takeover.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can find that information here or one of the streams that we already had.
And in the book, yeah.
And in the course. Also.
Cube says, oh, good night, War Chief. And it's so good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again.
War Chief says, good night, all you warriors.
All right.
Jody says, good night, War Chief. Thank you for your constant support.
Hey, there's Shade.
Hey, Shade. He says, late show, but you'll have to go back to the beginning and watch, Shade. We're not running out on you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
And Scott saying good night, War Chief. Everybody saying good night, War Chief. Everybody saying hello to Shade.
Elastic says her doctor explained how serious her condition is, and yet she doesn't call out Todd or Meldrum for knowingly putting her through that and having her pay them for it. I'd call the Better Business Bureau.
Sure
would. Oh no, she probably goes back out with them again because these people have big names and people feel important if they get to spend time with them.
And I don't know what this part is, but it says, I hope
he accepts your invitation. Was it to go into the class or for the interview? Elastic says her, oh no, we read that. Scott says, just like a Satanist talking to demons. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure is.
Cube says either out of her mind or has implanted impressions in her from demonic influences. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Or both. Cube says, yes, Scott, exactly. Jody says, ha, do they attend to such things, Elastic Machinery? Elastic says, more New Ager rhetoric where Christ wasn't special and mankind is below these preachers. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Cube says, worse and worse, sitting duck is putting mildly, lead tracker E.
Yeah, you're right.
Jim says, and God said to men, these are you a food? These animals you have dominion over. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Right. Elastic says, that's a good point at Ella. How David killed Goliath is a model of what to do, decapitation and all, like the cover of the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
CT says that is true. Tracker Lorna says, God bless everyone and have a great night. You too.
You too. We are.
Shade says, well, good night all. I will replay in the morning because I'm late, etc. Okay. Yeah, always glad to see you.
Elastic, we're not running out on you.
Elastic says, really looking forward to more Tim this Saturday. The test stream looks so good. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Jerry and Ella, for bringing us all together at the cool kids table again. Good night, all.
Click in the corner.
Yeah.
We all got put in the corner.
Yeah. Shadow Tracker Jay says, good night, Shade Viking. And Jamie says, good night, all warriors. And Shadow Tracker Jay says, good night, my brothers and sisters. All right. And so we'll go ahead and say a prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful group of people. Lord, we pray your hand of protection. We pray that you will open Sonia's eyes and ears to the reality of what's going on so she quits listening to these fools around her. Mm-hmm. Lord, they know what they're doing. You take care of that, but help the vulnerable and the easily manipulated, Lord, not to be. We thank you for all the ways that you take care of each of us, and I personally thank you for protecting me when I listen to idiots or people with agendas. Thank you, Lord. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, warriors, and we will see y'all. Thunder Trackers, we'll see you tomorrow night. And for everyone else, we will see y'all Saturday.
How far did we get in? Like 30 minutes?
I don't think that far. Let me see if we got it. It might have went off by now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
We
didn't
probably
get
got
very
about
far, but we got you
20
started.
minutes in.
Y'all know where it's going.
And if she goes for an hour and 15 minutes, we couldn't do it. So we will see everyone Thunder Trackers tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Saturday night with Tim Morefoot, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Be here for that. It's going to be a great talk. And
don't forget to hit like
and
share
subscribe.
This out. You can help save people too.
Yep. So good night, Warriors.
Yep.
Good
night,
right.
Warriors.
Good night, Warriors.
Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Are we moving?
So beautiful.
Are we moving?
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone who's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer. She's so funny and witty herself.